What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Now we finally got our green amulet. Alright, we took out Peter Strickland. All we gotta do is make our way back, and there's no possible way that can go wrong. Right? It should be super easy and simple, and because it is gonna be that, I hope you'll enjoy this very simple journey back to return the green amulet, and I will see you all on the next one. Peace out. Don't forget to subscribe.
Okay, so where we left off, you guys won your fight against Peter Strickland,
We did it.
Aetherborn sorcerer, I believe
He
is what he was.
kamikazed.
Well, I mean, you guys killed him and he blew up. I don't know if that's exactly a kamikaze or not.
Yeah, fair enough. You bring up a valid point.
There. You guys did successfully do this as well without killing any of the Enshadowed, which were apparently Luxper's family.
I do have a question about the explosion before you get past it too much.
Okay.
Was it like brutal human explosion, or was it like magic explosion?
No, it was magic explosion. As you recall, when he was when you were damaging him, he was showing like more and more like
Yes.
blue
Yeah.
energy. It was more just the rest of his body turned into
Okay.
blue energy and exploded outward.
Okay, this would have very much mattered for the mental of Riley. So okay.
No, yeah, it would have been like not gory at all, really.
Okay.
What would you guys like to do? I guess you were also aware someone did a mana sense, and the storm cloud above you is currently fading. It sent positive vibes towards the person who did the mana sense. It goes either Rose or Ray.
Yeah, it was one too.
So we went back to the temple at the end of the last one, did we not? Because I thought we had
We
seen, because we saw we saw all the unconscious Luxper there.
No, we
I
didn't.
got
We
through
saw
them
the-
in my arms.
Did you?
No. We ended that we were going to the temple. We never went there. The unconscious Lexpers are in Eris.
Yeah, there were two Enshadowed that were with Peter, and those are the ones that turned into the Luxpers. So you haven't.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking of then. Okay,
No, we just said we were going to the temple after this. That's all we ended on.
gotcha. Okay, well I suppose we will proceed to the temple then.
Okay. Unless there's something in particular you guys want to do there, you arrive. The Enshadowed that were there before are similar to what you found on the mountain arena. Luxpers on the ground. Very tired, sleeping, but alive and apparently restored to their original form.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah. I can put us on the map there, but unless there's something in particular you guys want there.
I don't think so. I mean, I assume
No.
we're kind of just taking a short rest here. Is the idea? I don't know
Sure.
what y'all are thinking.
Yeah, I mean, might as well. Rose and Ray are low on health.
Yeah, Eris is doing pretty rough there. That was a rough fight for her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Eris
I'm
really
doing the
struggles
worst
on
out
the
of all
daily.
of us.
Riley would be rough, but Rose and Ray were coming in clutch with the heals. All right.
Okay, you guys are free to take a short rest.
Okay.
Woo.
Oh, I forgot to do all my A's. Oh, that was perfect. What a roll.
Do I only get spell slots back after a long rest?
Correct.
That's fucking
You get-
bullshit, dude.
I don't know what you get back on a short rest actually, as a
I
sorcerer.
get my sorcerer points back.
No, you don't.
Crazy.
He said, "No, you don't. No,
No,
shot."
it's long rest. I knew it was long rest because you can convert
Oh.
sorcery points into spell slots. So if you're able to do that on a short rest, then you would just be able to infinitely
Then I'm
convert.
fucking unstoppable.
Yes.
You're already a magic caster, chill.
While I'm there, can I go ahead and to all the Luxpers, especially the ones I'm less worried about our original Luxper, and more his family. I don't know if this would be a medicine check or a mana sense check, or both. Trying to check both externally to make sure they're okay, and internally to make sure their mana's not wonky.
Okay. Externally, they appear to be fine. They appear to be exhausted, like signs of exhaustion and fatigue and stuff like that. But other than that, there are no wounds or anything like that. As I don't think you guys even touched them when they were in their enshadowed forms. I think you just
Nope.
completely.
They touched us.
They did
hit me at one point, or they bit me rather.
Was bad touch in that instance. You can make a mana sense check.
Okay.
untouched.
With a 14, you ascertain that their engines, so to speak, are now restored to what you've already sensed in Lux per the original,
Okay,
the one that
cool.
you. So yes, they do appear to be whatever was causing the condition, the enshadowed condition. It is now not affecting them any longer.
Okay, sweet. Having gone through and checking them, everyone kind of resting. I looked at everyone. I'm like, well, it at least seems that these guys are okay. Their magic sources, I guess, for lack of a better word, seem to be intact now, so that's good.
Yeah. All right. Let's address the elephant in the room here. Are we bringing them back with us, or are we leaving them here?
Many are there.
Well,
Do we even
I think we
carry
should
them?
at least gather them to a safe space first.
You guys did check. I believe that there are 5 in the temple, and then there are 2 up here, for a total of 7 unconscious ones. And then
Eris is
Lux
carrying
per-
3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can carry the other 2 unless Riley would like to carry one.
I mean, he'll help. It won't. He would like to. He would like to carry one.
Excellent.
Okay.
Arms
But yeah,
full of Lux
between
per.
the 4 of you, you're all able to carry the Luxpers. Like I said, they're not huge creatures by any means.
So do we want to just bring them to the?
Just to the camp
Oh God, I had
until
her.
they wake up.
Okay, yeah. Wait, down to the. Like down to the bandits camp or to the.
The dwarf, I would
dwarf.
say, right?
The dwarf one. We probably should bring them down in general.
Okay.
'Cause that's where Lexper was. But
No, yeah, I
Oh,
think so.
yeah.
Or- yeah. We'll
So you
figure
guys
out
are
once we
gonna,
wake them up.
trek over to the dwarves camp.
Well, I mean, yeah.
that's usually our point of reference.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can make a group stealth check, please.
Oh, God.
Nice. Dude, I hate this. I'm gonna use all my good rolls, and I'm gonna want them later. Although this is probably kind of important, because rolling bad on this would be a concern.
Stealth check. Woo! Carrying the team. With
Carrying
my
the team
6.
harder.
Yikers.
Still higher than my 6 somehow.
Yeah, even despite that,
Ooh, they
between
rolled
Riley
out,
and
thank
Ray, that will definitely beat their perception checks.
Thank God.
So you do sense a greater orc presence than usual in the forest as you head back. You get the sense they are sort of curious about the storm cloud and what's sort of been going on here. Whether they sensed it or heard something, you're not sure. But you do manage to avoid them as they're mostly interested in what's behind you as opposed to you yourself. You do arrive at the encampment, at which point the Luxpers begin to wake up.
Yeah.
Your Luxper greets them eagerly, calling out, them by each of their names, which incidentally is Luxper on each of them. They greet him back. He introduces you guys to them, each in turn. Again, all their names are Luxper. He informs them that you are responsible for freeing them of the shadow. They don't seem to have a good memory of what exactly happened to them. The last thing most of them remember seeing was they were just in the forest as normal when an individual in sort of black attire appeared to see them. And that was kind of the last thing that most of them remember. However, they take Luxper's word for it and thank you vehemently for your assistance in waking them all up from their perspective. They offer you healing.
I mean, sure.
Sure.
Okay. I'll
Can they
say
heal my spells
between all of them, they are enough to heal Rose to full HP. Yeah. With you guys still at the dwarf encampment, what would you like to do? Luxper at this point, he looks at all of you and he says, thanks so much, guys. I can never thank you enough. But I think I need to go with my family, and we're going to go down to the outer circle. It's kind of scary up here with all the orcs and stuff. You're always welcome to come back and visit, though.
Yeah, of course, little buddy. We'll come back.
Yeah, Eris moves on to give him a big ol' hug.
Yeah, you effectively squish little Luxfer.
Pop.
He seems to be fairly happy with it.
Woo.
He wriggles free, hopping on your shoulder, giving you sort of a comforting surge of mana as well, and leaving you positive vibes. And he flies off with the rest of his family, which you did manage to save.
Let's go.
Gonna miss that little guy.
The good ending.
Woo!
Could have at least killed one of them.
Boo! No one asked you.
Oh well.
Shucks.
Anything else you guys would like to do, or are you gonna head back down and then skedaddle?
Down and out, right?
At what time of day are we looking at? Oh, and actually another question. Whenever we came into the fog, was it about the same like time of day relative to?
You came in the morning, and it did appear to be morning as well inside of the dungeon.
And has it at least felt like time has been the same here? I mean, it seems like it's been pretty consistent.
To the best of your knowledge, yeah.
Okay. And what time is it now?
I believe you did all this around midday, so I'll say it's early afternoon at this point.
Okay. Yeah, we can work our way down. I don't really have my slow falling spell right now, so we could either take a a night off and then go back to the house tomorrow, or slowly make our way down, I suppose, if we're really wanting to get out today.
We could climb down the vines the witch made, right? Or did she like lift us up?
No, she did create a literal thing of vines. You get the sense that the vines won't last forever, but they would still be up right now.
Okay.
Useful.
Yeah.
And yeah, in that case, then we can definitely take those.
Sooner
Okay.
we get out of here, the better.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'll
Agreed.
bring those boards.
It's still a bit of a climb, a bit of an excursion, but not a terribly dangerous one, as the vines are plentiful and they kind of catch you even if you fall. You make it to the bottom and arrive at the outer circle. You guys head to the outer wall.
Dude,
Yeah,
we talked to our
when-
one last time.
I'd like to.
Go ahead, Rose.
What?
When we gave the bandit people the crystal, were they just gonna dip immediately? Like there's nobody left at the camp, or?
You can check if you like. Although I suppose you would probably be able to see them from the top of the wall. Not only have they not left, there are other buildings there now, in addition to the
Oh.
ones you saw before.
Okay, you guys want to check that out?
Sure, why not?
Yeah,
Now that we're down from the middle part.
Yeah.
But
I
yes.
think we're away from the worst of it, at least for now. He says, unknowing to this danger we're walking into.
Okay. You arrive back at the hamlet. And the shrub witch is currently outside along with the rest of the thugs, directing them apparently in the construction of several new buildings. These buildings are sort of slowly emerging from the ground, wall by wall, ceiling by ceiling bit. The thug's job is mostly, it appears, to put tiling on the ceiling and put other like basic decorations like painting on the walls to make it look a little more presentable. The shrub witch does have the mana stone that you guys gave her in her hand, and it is glowing brightly as she does this.
Doggy.
Would you guys like to approach them or no?
Yeah, I approach them. I do mention my presence, I guess. So I go, hey, how's it going, guys?
The witch glances back. The thugs begin to like sort of put down their things, and she calls out. She says, "Keep working," and they immediately snap to. She, however, the mana stone stops glowing, and she appears to take a break, walking over towards you guys on the bridge there. She says, Oh, things are going well. The mana stone you gave us is quite impressive. Obviously not the highest of grades, but certainly more than enough to raise a few new buildings. Perhaps even a wall by the end of the day if I can manage it.
Well, with your talent, I hold no doubt on that. We were just stopping by, seeing what was how construction is coming and such. We managed to succeed our mission, as difficult as it was. But I guess, and I turned back to Riley and Eris and Random, like, I guess we're leaving now, so figured we'd say goodbye.
Yeah. The witch nods. She says, "Well, I certainly owe you folk quite a bit, and I'm grateful that you were able to complete your quest. That individual, well, I think it would have been dangerous if he had stuck around. Out of curiosity, what exactly was he doing up there? Or do you know?"
I look at Riley and Eris's expression first.
Eris doesn't give a shit if you tell her.
Yeah, Riley's staring. Well, he's hoping the dog rounds the corner and he can find an excuse to pet it.
All right. Well, he appears to be. He was appearing to be freeing some sort of evil or, well, neutral deity, chaotic deity. I don't know. He was attempting to free a prisoner, basically.
Yeah, you know anything about that prisoner up there?
No, I never went up the big square up there. I left that to the orcs and the wardens. Well, it's a good thing that you stopped him, I think.
Probably.
I sense an item with you. Its magic is very similar to my own.
Item? Oh. I was like, what item?
I like I kind of like uncloak it from my neck, and I'm like, the amulet.
Ooh, that is interesting magic there. Would you be willing to part with it for a fair trade, perhaps?
Unfortunately, not. Or, well, I again turn back and I go, our survivability kind of depends on getting this back. The mission is not complete.
Yeah, I make a remark. I'm like, yeah, the trade would have to be equivalent to our lives, I believe. So I don't know if you got something like that.
I could always resurrect you afterwards. Although that actually doesn't work on Outworlders who have failed their missions. So no, I don't have anything to offer, unfortunately. Oh well, a shame, but it is what it is. And you've been good to us. I would not want to steal your lives away in return for such good service that you provided.
Oh, wonderful. What do you mean when you said it was similar to you?
Oh, it is imbued with nature magic. Mana from the Prime Realm.
Mana from the Prime Realm.
It is of no concern. I was simply, I sensed it, and such an item would be very useful to me. But you need it, so I will not attempt to take it. Anyway,
Well.
I wish you the best of luck. I will say, if you find anyone very desperate, and if you don't particularly care whether they live or die, but you want to give them a second chance, send them through to me. I'll have them in my new village that I'm trying to start up here.
Oh, cool.
Oh, I see. We're inviting new people now. That much has changed.
Only if, again, if you don't particularly care whether or not they make it through the dungeon fog. It takes about 30 to 40% of individuals who try to go through it.
Oh, okay. But,
With the exception
not the worst
of
odds.
Outworlders like yourselves.
Not the worst odds. We'll keep it in mind.
Yeah. All right, team. We heading out.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Miss Witch has the dog happened to become friendlier by any chance within the last day?
She looks over at you and says, I could make it very friendly for another mana stone.
Oh my god.
I do kind of giggle, being smart enough to know that is not a worthy trade. Just going, while it is tempting, I think we can probably find a little more use from the mana stone.
She lets out a sigh and nods. She says, "Yes, probably. Thought it was worth an ask, though."
All right. Well, it was nice meeting you. And
Very
Riley will
well.
just start trotting off,
Yeah.
following Eris,
Well.
presumably.
I give both Rose and Ray give a small bow and we leave.
Okay. You guys can go ahead and make one. I'll say Rose. You can make a persuasion check with advantage.
Oh my god.
Sheesh.
Guidance?
Yes.
No guidance on this one.
I was gonna say,
Damn it.
I don't know if you know this one's happening.
23.
It doesn't matter. He's a monster.
Okay.
He's a menace.
You, Rose, feel. Well, actually, make a mana sense check with Rose. Actually, no, you can do it with both Rose and Ray, as you guys are connected.
Nice.
Little
Guidance?
team effort.
No guidance.
Guidance. Guidance? Question mark.
It's crazy that she has the +2 and always rolls rollers.
She does always roll hard.
Okay.
she's a
You
curse.
distantly, as you guys are leaving, you guys hear the witch cackle loudly, but you don't know why. You assume she's torturing her thugs or whatever, her newfound workers.
Interesting. Okay.
Dang it.
Do you guys head to the little wall?
I suppose so.
Yes, sir.
Where's mine?
Okay.
These-
I guess you guys would technically be on this side. The Oracle, as you guys arrive, looks down at all of you. He says, in his booming voice, "Thank you so much. You have averted potentially a great catastrophe. I was unaware of the prisoner's presence. The prison that they were in blocked even my vision. Now that it is out, though, I can find my own way of dealing with it."
Oh, that's good. I was kind of worried when we left it in the middle of nowhere, but didn't really know what else to do.
Don't worry. He gets on one knee, sort of kneels down, and he points at Rose. He says, "Without that item that you have with you, they have no way of waking the prisoner. And I will secure her in a much better way than the one who put her in that prison did."
All right.
Mm.
That works for me. By any chance, do you have a way to silence things?
Silence things?
I look at Rose puzzled.
A spell, perhaps, or a cantrip. I don't remember.
He nods slowly and he says, "I could expend some of my magic to create a sphere of silence." Why? Is my voice too loud?
No, and I ask this humbly, but may you cast it?
Very well. It is not the sort of spell my kind are known for, but I will happily comply. He holds his sword in both hands, sort of sticking it in the ground. He closes his eyes and mumbles a few words. Well, mumbles, it's still sort of rumbling. He will make it visible as well. A sphere of blue energy appears sort of in this area here, with a radius of about 15 feet.
I calmly walk to it and set my guitar down in it.
Okay.
I walk back and I go, well, my instrument has definitely carried us through some parts of this adventure, but it appears to be currently bugged, or someone is spying on me. So I figured if I put it in silence, they would not be able to hear. Mr. Oracle, Warden Storm Churlish, sir.
I am only the warden.
Well,
We're also
regardless,
wardens.
Regardless, I have made a deal with a person from this land that I were to give her the amulet. I give him a quick descriptor of what's her face?
The witch?
No.
Or you
No,
mean
Nora.
Runebrand?
No.
Chisa?
Nora,
No,
right?
Nora. The one who
Yeah.
made me the guitar.
Yeah.
Oh, you said this
You
land. I
remember
thought
the
you were talking about
deal.
in here. Yeah, I thought you were talking about in the fog.
No,
I
just
was like,
not
what are you
just
talking
not
about?
Outworlder.
I gotcha.
If an individual like this comes through the barrier, well, I don't imagine she'll have great intentions for it. I'll put it that much. But as she currently concerns our survivability and our livelihood, it's not like we can go back on it. Merely a warning.
By the time she comes through the wall, I'm already beginning to do what I intend to do to make sure that the prisoner is secure. You need not fear. So long as one that you speak of is not stronger than I am, I will be able to protect the prisoner from them.
Very well. As to ascertain from my instrument, would there be any way of you removing the crystals that are tapped into it? I am not too well versed in the mana crystals of this land.
She doesn't trust me yet.
I could destroy the item, but I'm sorry. He sort of gestures out with his massive fingers. He says, "Delicate work is not the forte of my kind."
Well, very well. I merely meant to warn you on a possibility. And
Your warning is appreciated. In addition, I perhaps have not emphasized this enough, but you have done a great service to me and to the people here. I would happily grant the four of you boons of what such boons I am able to give.
Riley perks up quite a lot. Goes
Yeah.
like more powers.
Woo!
I can grant you some small portion of my power.
Oh,
If that is what
that'd be
you desire.
so cool.
Hell yeah, we're getting boons, Riley.
Riley reaches out for a high five with Eris. It's like, hell yeah!
Hell yeah.
well, they seem to be more excited.
The children are excited.
Entertain them first.
Okay. He kneels down and I'll suppose he'll look at Riley first. He says, well, small one, is it a portion of my power that you would like?
He does kind of sit there thinking for a moment. Goes, well, are there other options?
Of course, there are always other options. Like I said, the limits are my limits. I can only give you what boons I am capable of granting.
Is it like too many, or would you mind running me through those real quick?
He sort of tilts his head. He says, the request should come from your heart. I will tell you if I'm able to grant it or not.
Fair enough. Alright, I go ahead and I sit down, kind of crisscross applesauce, pondering. I'm like, okay, this is gonna take me a minute. Let me dig deep. And he starts like just sitting there, kind of like a just hard thinking face. It's like he'll be like this for probably a minute or two. So if you wanna.
Cool. Eris raises her hand and go. Can I go first? Who's thinking?
The Oracle turns over to Eris and says, yes, I am happy to grant your boon, Feyborn.
Woo! I will kindly take that offer of more power, good sir.
He nods and he says, within you, I already sense something of a storm. With the addition of my power, that storm will only grow.
Excellent.
He reaches out, and you can roll a mana control check.
Ooh.
I swear to God, if I roll low on this.
I know, I'm worried. I've been rolling too high for our check to come now.
Yeah, seriously. Ha!
That's not bad. That's not bad.
It's not at 1.
You feel as the energy courses through you, you feel like your body has strengthened somewhat from the addition of this one's power. The storm within you is now reflected by the new strength that you find yourself with.
Okay.
He pulls back his hand. He says, "I would give more, but attempting to fuse too much mana with one such as yourselves would endanger you. I hope that this small boon makes up for the trials and tribulations you've endured on our behalf."
Oh, it sure does. Thank you, my good sir. And then Eris just is ecstatic.
He glances over at Rose, I suppose. He says, "It seems the young one is still deep in thought. I'm not certain I am able, unfortunately, to grant any gift to your companion. I fear that that may only harm her. But I believe I could safely give you something."
Well, I was gonna ask if you could give her something, but I guess I can ponder on the idea myself.
Yeah. Are you need to think for a second?
No, yeah, I'll think
Metal
about it if you want.
Okay. Riley kind of stands up, like chest out very proudly. Goes, Mr. Oracle, sir, if Rose needs time to think, I think I'm ready.
All right, and I am merely the warden.
Oh, Mr. Warden, sir, sorry. So, well, it gets a little annoying, people looking down on me, size and all. I get it, and I kind of like, even though they look down on me being the smartest one, and I don't know a whole lot about this land, so rather than power, do you have a way to grant me knowledge?
He sort of shifts uncomfortably. You can make a persuasion check.
Okay.
I thought you were going to ask to be taller.
Not great,
With
not great.
6,
Not great, not
He
great.
says,
That 23.
a being as old and as long-lived as I has a great deal of knowledge trapped within the various layers of my mind. I could attempt to give such knowledge to another, but the process would be very dangerous. I'm not willing to attempt to do so on one such as yourself. I think that you are young, and you can still have plenty of time to learn as much knowledge and gain as much as you please.
I look at him with a like small sad face. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Well, if I can't have knowledge, would you happen to oh shit, that was where I was pretty much fucking going with that. Short. Okay, well, I guess give me a second longer then, and I will plop back down into my cross-legged self. Being that knowledge would be what Riley desires most. Now I gotta think of what his second most desire is.
Cool.
Well,
The Oracle, seeing Riley sort of get, clearly not happy with its response, it says, well, knowledge of the past is dangerous for me to attempt to transfer from my mind to yours. There is another form of knowledge which I am able to obtain.
I look up and go, oh yeah, well, if too much past is too much, even just knowledge of maybe the function of things. We're quite new here, and so just knowledge of how things flow would be nice.
I'm not certain as to how I would communicate that with you, but I am able, if only limited in a limited amount, to briefly glimpse into possible futures, likely futures. I could look into your future and see perhaps what it might hold for you.
Ooh. Riley's kind of stun-locked for a second. And I look at him and go, well, I think that knowing your future can be a bit of a dangerous game to play. That being said, it can definitely prove to be quite helpful in certain times. How future are we talking?
I should be clear. The future is always in motion. Time is a river, not not a path. I can look ahead and see where the currents most likely flow to, but whether or not they end up there can certainly be changed by your actions or the actions of others.
All right. Hearing this actually makes him feel a lot better. He goes, okay, knowing it's not some set thing I need to be afraid of, I'm more than okay with this, and it's at least a type of knowledge that I could maybe use. And so what did Eris, whatever Eris did whenever he like reached to her, if she's like put her hand out, he'll kind of repeat that motion.
The Oracle shakes his head. He says, this is not something that I grant to you via mana. It is an ability that I must reach within myself to accomplish. He sits down cross-legged
Yes!
opposite you, closing his eyes for a moment and setting down his weapons. He puts his hands together, and a deep rumbling sort of hum emits from him. You see across his forehead as a large eye of lightning opens up,
Ooh, that's cool.
cracking and burning the air around it, creating a ozone smell around you. After a few moments of this, his mouth opens and he speaks, almost not even seemingly aware of the words that he's speaking. He says, Gears, Ek City, the Shroud. He closes his mouth, and the eye closes as well. And he blinks, and he looks over at you. He says, were you able to hear anything?
I go ahead, I nod my head slowly. I just go, yeah, I definitely heard something. Now I'm interested. Thank you, Mr. Warden.
He nods and he says, I hope whatever words I spoke will be of use to you. He looks over at Rose. He says, have you thought of a potential boon I might give you?
Of course. If you have any suggestions, I'll take them, but I believe... Well, I don't want to be selfish or leave Ray behind, so I've come up with a request that would help us both. Could you give me the ability to manipulate sound? Making it louder, quieter, silent, booming.
Booming.
You can make a persuasion check.
While he is rolling that, I just want to double check. He said the word Gears, X City, and the Shroud.
Those are the words he said.
Okay, just want to make sure I had that noted correctly.
With a 19, I'll say he nods. He says, my magic is closely related to the production of sound, usually more so amplifying as opposed to quieting, but it could be used for both. I could grant you a portion of this magic as well.
Sheesh.
At least I can try to. Perhaps if your friend helped you attempt to accept this gift, it might be more likely to take.
Ray, assumingly, jumping to conclusions, Ray nods and holds me by the shoulders.
All right. He reaches out as gently as he can with a single finger, tapping you on your shoulder. You can make a mana control check with advantage as Ray is helping you.
Guidance?
Sure. Yeah, I guess you would be prepared for this.
I didn't use guidance on the persuasion just so I could persuade you to give me guidance.
That's so funny.
Meta persuasion check. Okay, yeah, with a 17, the DC was higher than it was for Eris. With a 17, though, you are granted a portion of the Storm Warden's magic. That will be one cast per day of, I believe, Thunderwave, I think is what it's called. And one cast per day of Silence.
That's hype.
Yeah, and those are just free once per day.
Okay. I'll take it.
I'm not complaining.
He retracts his finger. He says, I do not know if I will meet any of you again. I look into my future on occasion, but it is blurry and many things are possible. If I do not see you, I hope that wherever you go, whatever you end up doing, you end up being as positive an influence on your world as you were on my small one.
One can only hope.
Yeah. I smile happily, coming out of my ponderous thought, and go, yeah, I hope we get to see you again too, Mr. Warden.
Just Warden.
Yes, Mr. Warden, Miss Warden, just Warden. Yes, sorry.
Thanks for all your help, Warden. Appreciate it.
He nods. He says, I can lift you over the wall. One final small favor.
Heck yeah.
And with his electromagnetic telekinesis, he does lift you gently over the little wall, placing you on the other side.
Oh god, not that goddamn river again.
I mean, do you guys head out through the dungeon fog?
That's Riley's plan.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys can. Okay, so this will be interesting.
I don't like this.
You guys can each roll. I'll say, yeah, each roll 1d20. So not just one for both Rose and Ray.
One for both.
Just go. That's what I'm talking about.
That's the Riley roll I expect.
I'll go ahead and assume no guidance.
No guidance, no.
It's...
Oh wow, even worse. So I'm basically
Jesus
in like
Christ.
too.
Not
It was
20
not
gets an
R
average of
slash
like
D20,
7.
right?
Yep.
R
See, if
slash
Ray rolled it, it would've been
D20.
higher.
Yay!
Oh, slash R, slash R.
Oh,
Slash
sorry.
R.
Slash R D20.
Okay.
Yikers.
Not a 1 or a 2,
Yeah.
but still not good for all of us.
Like an average of like a 3 or a 4 or something like that.
Okay. So Eris, how are you? How is
Hi.
Eris feeling right now?
How I would imagine very ecstatic after receiving more power.
Yeah, it's valid.
I would imagine she is quite hype right now.
Okay. Okay. That's one aspect of it, I suppose. Let's see. How excited are you to go back to the mansion and complete your quest? Or is that something that's even on your mind right now?
I mean, I would say she's in a pleasant mood. I mean, the fight ended well, got the amulet. Her life is safe as far as she's concerned, so I mean, I wouldn't say she's like ecstatic to go back to the mansion, but she's like in a good, cheerful mood to go back and get this over with.
Okay. Reasonable. Okay then. That's good. This could have gone a lot worse.
Oh god.
Let me fix this real quick. As you guys step through the dungeon fog, you find yourselves on a small hill, not where you left, not at the small sort of British town that you remember, Victorian British town. You find yourselves overlooking a large city filled with bright lights, fountains, lights reaching out into the skyline, and a peaceful river. And as you guys can consider what you want to do about that, I will go to the bathroom.
So he's saying we just walked out into whatever this nonsense is?
Yep.
Yeah.
I also need to ask him if y'all heard the words that the giant said. I don't know if he said them out loud or if he just said them in like a thing to me.
I think. Oh well. I mean, I was gonna ask Hudson if he could write it in the chat for us. Cool. So about this pretty city, huh?
I should probably find out what country we're in and see if they if we're the same one and or they're
Probably.
outworlders. That's probably first.
I guess
what
'cause our
country did we start in? Eklat? No.
Well, I know because we do know that like they did tell us that not everywhere accepts
Yeah.
Outworlders, so we at least
Yeah.
know to be cautious about that. I mean, we haven't been, but yeah. I mean, I guess walking out and seeing this, just the good old. This isn't what I remember.
So just to describe it a little more, you guys are on like a hill that's sort of in the middle of town. You look around you, and it appears to be like a park. That you guys are sort of like at the top of like a little hiking trail at a park. There are like buildings and streets surrounding you guys.
All right. Well, map first, I guess.
You say
Wait,
map
what did you
first?
say? Map?
Like find a map.
Oh yeah.
Map.
So what do? So you said we're on top. Is this kind of like what we are seeing on top of this hill, basically?
Sure, more or less. I mean,
Okay.
you're able to see the main landmarks of the town from where you are.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we look for some kind of public building. Don't want to go knocking on random doors, I suppose.
I will also point out it is nighttime.
Yeah, this is very inconvenient of you, Hudson. When we left, it was like midday.
Kind of
right?
mid-afternoon.
Mid-afternoon. Okay. Yeah. I really hope we're at least in the same world. Otherwise, this is gonna get really confusing.
Do we see people walking in the streets?
Not really where you guys are. Like I said, you're in kind of like a park area, and there aren't many people. There's no one at the park at night, I'll say. However, in the distance, and the town is quite brightly lit up, you can see people walking in the streets, particularly near like sort of the larger buildings, the large sort of central building there, and the one across the bridge.
If I turn around, is the dungeon fog still there?
You turn around, no, the dungeon fog is not there.
Well, shit.
Yeah, I look back at the other two, or like after turning around, I turn back forward and I go, yeah, guys, the dungeon fog is gone too. This is pretty much our only option is forward. So,
Yep.
I guess onward.
You guys can all make perception checks.
Okay.
I don't know, once or twice.
You can roll twice. That's fine.
Shit, where did my shit go? The fuck?
Oh, I did that at advantage. Just take the first one. It's 11, so 12, 14, 16.
Okay.
Hudson, can you roll for me? Where
Oh,
did my shit go?
Sure. I mean, technically, you can access your journal yourself even without the token.
And what was at the mansion we were at? I'm assuming we learned what the name of the city that mansion was called.
Yeah, it wasn't part of a city. It was a town, a small town of Oakland.
Oakland. Born and raised, alright.
Here we go. Perception. Nope. How do I? Oh, there we go. Okay. So Eris,
Oh, we're not keeping the orbs.
as
Keep the
everyone's sort of looking down towards the lights of
Oh, we did
the
forget that. Sorry,
city,
we're
which are
gonna
kind of
say
distracting. It's very sort of flashy. Like I said, some of the lights, particularly near the larger building, they're kind of like moving from side to side, like sort of spotlights almost. But however, Eris, knowing to be careful even in environments such as this, you look upwards in the sky, the star-strewn sky, and two shadows are high up. You estimate probably 2,000-3,000 feet above. Large wings and glittering scales. You make out both of those details as they are flying around in your general vicinity.
Fantastic. Only Eris sees this, not Riley and Ray.
Sorry, Riley does see this as well. I didn't see the 18 there.
Not a 16.
And
However,
Ray has
Rose
21
and
though,
Rose and
right?
Ray, they're like looking at this and they're like, oh, there are places to perform down there.
That's valid.
Okay.
Never mind. You're forgiven.
Yeah. So seeing that, I suppose I'm like, does anyone else see the like flying monster?
Yeah,
See what?
Eris will like nudge Rose and like kind of discreetly point upwards, like look up.
Hey, I hate to be that gal, guys, but
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, let's head to the city.
not our problem, right?
Riley will start going off towards the city, not sprinting out of fear of it tracking movement, but at a fast walk.
Wait, are they directly above us?
That's what
I
he
mean,
said.
I'd say it's not. It's difficult for you to tell exactly if they're like directly above you. They're in the general vicinity of you guys, like in terms of.
Okay, but like they're not like on. Okay, okay. I interpreted that as like they're over the city. Okay, got it.
That's a valid interpretation. They are over the city right now.
But it does look like they're paying attention to us, right?
You're not certain one way or the other. They're like I said, they're like very high up. You see
Okay.
their like forms against the starlight. But
Eris will start power walking along Riley. She'd
All
rather
right.
be around people than.
Yeah. Presumably take cover, I guess.
okay.
As
Um,
I guess we walk towards the city and try to find something.
Okay. You find yourselves walking along the streets. Where would you guys like to head? So you kind of have two options. You can try to head like out of the city, try to get to the outskirts, or you can try to head further in, where again there are like these large lights and a lot of people.
I mean, I want to go further in. What do you guys? What are we feeling?
Riley would initially head in, assuming he could probably find people easier and get information easier.
I should point out that you guys, your clothing is kind of torn up. You guys haven't taken a proper bath in days.
It's fair.
I would want to head out, but I am outvoted.
To the
Okay.
outskirts? Oh god. Oh,
Yeah, for the
I was like,
exact
I'm-
reason of we're going into a lavish place looking like crap. I don't know how much attention or advice they'll give us.
I mean, shit,
Well, so-
you want to say something? Eris will listen.
What's up?
Nothing. What were you saying, Riley?
Oh, well, I was like, right, I mean, I'm going towards the city. I'm obviously not trying to make my way towards, like, any, like, this, like, giant dance hall looking place or this, like, extravagant, like, fountains going everywhere.
Oh god, he rolled high.
I was like, I don't know if I will need a perception, but kind of walking through the city looking for maybe something like a, if it exists, something that would resemble like a fast foodish restaurant or like something like that is like a neutral public location.
Okay, so you guys are heading in towards the sort of larger landmarks.
If
of the
Rose
city.
doesn't say anything to stop us, yeah, I mean Riley's just
Yeah.
I would say I prefer the outskirts, but again, I'm outvoted, so I'll go with you guys.
Well, we can discuss it. It was like Riley's just
Okay.
walking.
Riley
Riley
is
Yeah.
Well, yeah, both of y'all just ran off. We didn't discuss it at all. I figured the discussion was out the window. I would prefer to go to the outskirts, as if we don't know if this is following us or the city. And if it's following us and it can get up there, I don't know what chance we have anyway of avoiding it.
Yeah, Eris kind of glances down and takes note of her dirty ass clothes and how grimy everyone is and go, oh shit.
Yeah, Riley used to going days without baths. Notices nothing. But no, I will turn to the group and go. I mean, look, I don't really care where we go. I just think we probably shouldn't be, out in a park by ourselves. At a bare minimum, we look sketchy right now.
I agree. There's no one to look at us in the park. I think we would look sketchier in a grand place. I think finding somewhere in the outskirts, or at least not in the central city, and finding a good vantage point is probably where I'm favored.
Again, Riley goes, yeah, sure, whatever, that's fine, and turns and starts walking the other way.
Yeah, sure.
All right, I guess we're trying to find a good vantage point.
All right, Riley's still on his mission of trying to find as some kind of neutral seeming location.
So as you guys, so you're headed away from sort of the center of the city, right?
Way less exciting, but yes.
Yes.
Okay. How how are you guys? So the streets are lit where you guys are going in terms of like they have street lights, street lighting. The lights are not traditional street lighting. They're hanging what appear to be some sort of crystals that emit light that are sort of floating at various points. The buildings that you pass are tall with many windows and sort of a large central door in each of them. Very little room for like alleys, like very, very small alleyways, barely like enough to even like walk like side by side through. How are you guys walking through these streets?
I mean, at least for Riley, once I get out of the park and I'm onto the street, I am just walking how I would usually do a casual walk across the or around the thing. I guess the one thing I'd be doing that might seem weird or seem suspicious is I am occasionally looking up at the shadows, like trying to see if they're getting close or anything. So I am doing that, but barring that, I am just walking, scanning the buildings, seemingly looking for something, I guess. Like to an outer's perspective.
Okay. Sure. Riley, you can make a perception check. Eris and Rose, how are you guys approaching this walk through the streets?
Damn it.
I would say Eris is trying not to draw attention to herself, trying to appear casual, hopeful that no one will take too much notice of her.
Okay. You can make a stealth check. Rose, how are you and Ray approaching this?
Same thing. We're trying not to pay too much attention. I'm more trying to keep track if the shadows are, as they descend, where they're potentially landing, and if they're moving from where they were.
Okay. You can make. So you're trying to do sort of stealth and perception here, I guess.
Yeah.
You can do one with Rose and one with Ray. So
Please
perception
roll
and
high.
stealth check in either order.
Can I add guidance?
To one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you may.
Dude, I literally took an evolution just. Okay, never mind. I love you, Ray.
Doesn't matter when
Yeah.
you roll 3.
Keep it up, girl.
That's rough.
God damn it.
However,
That's
Rose
19.
does manage to
Okay.
keep at least those two relatively, inconspicuous. However, Eris and Riley
Oh, shit.
to attract some attention. You see, like, eyes from high windows looking down at you guys suspiciously. You see lights occasionally turn on as other people are sort of looking outside.
So is there no one else on these streets right now?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay.
I will say, with a 10, you do see the shadowy figures still above. Like I said, they're so far above you, it's kind of difficult to tell exactly their movements. You're still able to see them, though, despite having walked a decent distance. I'll put it that way. You guys are reaching the outskirts of town. As you are going, you see a bright light shoot into the sky about a mile backward. It explodes into what appears to be an arrow. And it is the arrow up at high in the sky is pointed in your general direction.
Motherfucker. All right, ladies and gents. By hell or high water, we should probably get in the building.
Yep.
I assume with my 9, I did not find any buildings that look public or
What you
neutral.
have, they all appeared to be like apartment buildings or residential buildings.
Okay. Does it seem like at any point it turns, or like, like using what would be like a logical city layout, since there's apartment buildings, does it seem like there would be in a certain direction I can see a grocery store or some kind of any store or some kind of performance
Like
thing?
I said, it's nighttime. The streets are lit, but not like
Not
super
great.
brightly.
Okay.
You look
How do you
down
know
in
those
like each
alleys?
direction, and you don't see anything that appears to be like that.
As Rose,
You might have picked a bad street. It might just be this is like the residential street.
yeah, as Rose says this, I go, We can try, but I think these are all people's homes.
Yeah. How thin are these alleyways, Hudson? How tiny?
Like I said, quite small, like barely enough for like two people could walk abreast through it. What would you have to do?
I kind of want to go in the alleyway.
I look at
would
everyone.
like to take cover inside of a building.
I look at the group and I go, okay, we got two options. We either just let whatever happens happen, or we make ourselves seem way worse and way more suspicious by running and hiding.
Hey,
I
buddy,
don't think they're gonna
I don't want to
kill
be
us.
that guy. There's a god arrow pointed at us.
I know, but it could just be because we just magically teleported here. Obviously, they're gonna be worried.
Or
Of course.
they
You stay
despise
here.
outsiders.
I'm gonna go check out inside a building then.
Okay. Rose and Ray approach one. I mean, it's up to you. What? There are a number of buildings around you, all like I said, what appear to be apartment buildings.
Preferably one that has like a fairly big central door that could seem like an office, where there would be kind of like a
lobby.
a lobby.
Okay. That's funny. You can make a perception check with advantage since Ray, I assume, or I guess Rose is helping Ray, right? That's the way that this works.
At this point, I'm starting to think I should switch it.
Well, in any case, all right, with a
Never mind, she's
22.
back.
That's very funny. Yeah. It's a smaller building. This one only 3 stories tall, which is smaller than most of the buildings around you. It does have sort of a large central door, and you do see that there is a small sign hanging outside of it that if you hold up, I don't know how you guys are lighting yourselves. I assume one of you has like a torch or something like that, or maybe like a light cantrip.
Your fucking will.
How we're
Sure.
lighting ourselves? What do you mean?
I guess you sort of approach and you're able to squint your eyes and read in the dim light the sign, which says the Fox Hill Report.
I shrug and I go, all right, guys, this is about as good a time as any. Can I look at Jesus Christ with a bow and arrow? What's happening with that?
Jesus
I
Christ.
know it's not like an actual like deity with a bow and arrow, but what happened to like the guiding light that turned into an arrow?
Okay, I think it's an
it-
arrow,
I'm
like a
sorry.
pointing arrow, not like a bow and
Yeah.
arrow.
Yeah, it is a pointing arrow.
Yeah, that's why
it, did,
Riley
I-
did. That's why Riley wasn't so scared of it.
it did dissipate also fairly quickly, like probably after like 15 seconds or so. It hasn't just been hanging in the air this whole time.
Okay, I
That's
thought it
where
was
some
an
of the
actual
confusion
arrow.
came from. Yeah, that's why Riley wasn't really. That's why he was like, we don't need to like.
I was like, that's crazy. Riley can die. I don't want to make a new
No,
character.
okay, yeah, we saw arrows, 2 different things. I'm there now. I understand.
But yeah, what would you like to do?
Okay, yeah, knowing that, if I can, I'd take it back and assumingly follow the arrow, I think.
So again, it is a
Okay.
pointing arrow, but it is pointing at you guys
Towards us,
from
yeah.
the center.
Yeah,
the
it's
center
like
more-
saying,
Okay, I'm starting to understand
Yeah.
the situation. I would still like to go inside of the building then.
back to
I,
the original.
I am grasping the situation now. Yeah, I thought it was like a beaming light of like a celestial arrow or some shit. that was,
Gotcha.
like-
Yeah, I just figured like we
pointing at
might. Yeah. So Riley's head is like, hey, we might get arrested, but like we can explain what happened, or be like, hey, we're not doing anything bad.
Still same conversation though. You can stay out there. I'm going inside.
Riley looks to Eris. What is Eris doing and/or desiring to do here?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think Eris is gonna leave a child out on his own, no matter how strong. So I guess let's.
Okay, Riley, I'm not gonna walk into a building I don't know because I'm not about to get a trespassing ticket or anything. That's where his mind is at, and he will continue on looking for what is seemingly a public building. If he gets so far as like it seems like the buildings are starting to, I mean, I guess keep going. I don't know if something's gonna happen before we get too far, but
So I mean, you guys can do that. I will say, in terms of public buildings, you get the sense that the building that Ray and Rose found is probably your best bet this far out.
Well, Eris kind of nods towards the building and goes, "Kid, I think this is the best we're gonna get. I don't think we're gonna find a supermarket anytime soon."
Hmm. Yeah, I look to it. I go, I'm not walking into a building where we don't know. That it's just, if anything, it's gonna get us in more trouble. Um,
Yeah, well, if
Yeah.
they come and ask us why are you entering, we're gonna be like, "What the fuck do you expect? We're dumb foreigners." Now, come on, kid.
Good.
At this point, I've already tried to enter, by the way.
Yeah, well, how's that going on Rose and Ray's end? Are they inside? What's going on there?
Did you try to enter?
Yeah.
Okay. You find the door locked.
Mm.
If the door is locked, Riley turns and goes, "I'm going back to find a open building. And if someone stops me, someone stops me."
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be looking good if it's locked. We break in.
At this point, I guess. Well, no, never mind. Yeah. No, what do you guys like to do?
Riley is walking back the other direction to try to find someone, people to talk to, whatever. Even if it's not a great conversation, he feels he can get somewhere.
Sure, I'll go with Riley.
He feels he's done nothing wrong.
Is Rose going with them?
Sure, but I'm following way behind.
Okay. So you guys are just going back through the streets that you've already been through, correct?
Yes.
Back towards the center of the town.
Yep.
You gonna get arrested.
No, yeah, hey, that's not great, but listen, Riley's about to break into a building.
I just want to take a bath at this point.
Okay. So let's see what would be a good
Oh, no.
thing for this.
Is this like this is a super rich looking area, isn't it?
I mean, I think from Eris's perspective, most places look like a super rich area. So I don't know if that's the most valid thing to say there, but I mean, yeah, it does look very fancy.
Shit. The rich people are gonna like fucking find us for walking on their nice clean streets.
Not the Richies.
Not the richies.
I'm gonna go
Okay.
dance in the splash pad.
Oh shit.
All right. So, Eris, along with Riley, are sort of further ahead. Rose and Ray trailing behind. Yeah.
We do, just so you know, before we start, we have almost no vision. It's just our tokens, if that's what's intended.
It makes it kind of scarier, right?
It does make it scarier. I just wanted to make sure, because when we don't warn you about these things, you get mad at us.
That's true. I do. Okay. So as you guys are moving along the streets there, sort of going back the way you came, how have you guys been keeping an eye on the sky much, or not really?
Have we what?
Have you been keeping an eye on the sky very much, or have you been focused
I
on that?
definitely have.
Yeah, so is theirs.
I have started just purely focusing on, like, basically power walking through these residential areas, looking for buildings, seeing if, like, maybe down a street there's some kind of small gas station-esque thing or something like that, like a small market or something.
Okay.
A little mini Walmart, if you will.
All right. Whoever is looking at the skies, you can all make perception checks.
Riley's accepted that these things might just come after us, and that's how it is.
Thank you, Ray. We're rolling now.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you.
So
Carrying this team.
Ray does notice as the two shapes they broke off from each other, sort of going in opposite directions before they seem to be sort of flying together. Now they've descended, but not very close to you guys. Also, the 23, she gets the sense that their intention is to go low, closer to the tops of the buildings, and then come at you guys from either side, using the buildings as sort of cover, so you don't see them coming. They do appear to be definitely headed towards you, however.
All right.
23, One of them is bigger than the other by a fairly significant margin.
Motherfuckers, that one coming to me?
Again, with the 23, you get the sense that their intention is to sort of sandwich you on either side.
Not the sandwich.
Not
See
the
that we're in
sandwich
a-
maneuver.
We're in a very conveniently sandwichable location currently. Okay. Ray, being faster, will run ahead. And I'll use my action to tell them that they're definitely coming towards us and they're trying to flank us. So be careful.
Shit.
She will come to my side. Actually, she will say, we have two options, which is either together or split up.
Fuck.
What were about the size of these things, we presume, for how far away they were? Like, pretty damn large?
Reasonably large. You're pretty sure. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been able to see them from the distance that you were.
Yeah, are we talking, like, airplane near size, or...
Oh, I mean, airplanes are pretty big.
So is that a yes or a no to the relative size?
I think airplanes are it can be 100 feet. They're not 100 feet wide or anything like that.
Okay. But just large.
Larger than you.
Yeah, continue trying to walk, make pace. I think it goes, I really don't mind either way. I think we just keep walking and play innocent. I can't imagine they're going to have lethal intent if they're just showing up. Riley has a peaceful belief in the world.
Ray will
Okay,
look
cool.
puzzled and just run back, and me and
Hey, who has the amulet? Is that
I do.
Rose that has
Rose
it?
does, yeah.
Cool. Fuck, well, I don't know who best would keep it.
I
I'm
will
worried
be
that those
splitting
things
up.
are gonna be, trying to take it from us if they get us all.
Okay. Is there anything you guys do aside from race down the street?
I'll be splitting up somewhat.
I'm not like sprinting down the street, by the way, because I'm not trying to look whack. I am just at a faster pace.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll sigh and I will just post up next to this fence here.
Okay. I'll say since you guys are not running, they do catch up with you fairly quickly as you're still on the street there. A shadow appears shooting from the top of a roof and skidding to a halt on the ground ahead of Riley and Eris.
Big boy.
Oh, he's so passionate.
He's so
skids
young.
to a halt there. He rears his head towards Eris and Riley and calls out in a somewhat high-pitched voice, saying, "Stop, criminals!"
Yeah, Riley will stop. I will, in an instant, put my hands up and say, hello, Miss... I'm assuming we can see that it's a dragon now, like it's lit enough.
Yeah.
Okay. I immediately, like, throw my hands in the air, like the usual innocent thing, and I just go, hello, Mr. Dragon. I apologize that we've startled you or bothered anybody. I promise you we're not criminals.
Yeah, man, why do you think we're criminals? What did we do?
What does Eris do?
She goes, oh, yeah, man, why do you think we're criminals? What did we do?
The dragon takes 2 large steps forwards, and he's suspiciously eyeing Riley. He says, 1 count of illegal trespassing, 1 count of violating curfew, and 1 count of illegal teleportation magic without a license.
Oh,
Unless you have one. He eyes
What?
you suspiciously.
What if we didn't want to be transported here illegally? What if that happened against our will? That's still a crime?
Riley cuts off and goes, oh, look, there's a huge misunderstanding. I think there's just a lot of confusion. Is is there someone we can talk to, whether it's you or if you can bring us to someone, whatever the case is. There's a lot to explain.
You can make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Shit.
Probably because Eris is coming off all hostile.
I'm not. I'm just being
Yeah.
casual.
The dragon takes 2 large steps forward. Its teeth glinting as it sort of opens its mouth a little bit. It says, "Oh, I'm not confused about anything. You two both lie down on the ground, hands behind your heads, or else." And he sort of like snarls at you. He doesn't. I mean, he's clearly trying to act tough.
Yes, no, I will comply. And I go ahead.
What are Rose and Ray doing in the meantime? You are able to see this. What would you like to do?
I am just leaning against this fence, watching this happen.
I do comply and get on the ground, hands behind the head, and just go. Okay, sir. Just hopefully you can bring us in, and we can have a chance to talk this out.
What's Eris doing right now?
Please lay down. Please lay down.
Fine.
Listen,
only
Eris
because-
does whatever she wants to do. It's your character.
Yeah, but I'm imagining Riley's like staring at her like, please, for the love of God.
Oh no, he's staring at this dragon right now. He's very intently
Staring at
keeping
the
eye
dragon.
contact. Yeah, like trying to show that he's like not trying to be harmful. Riley's not looking in your direction at all.
Seeing Riley comply, what was the dragon's response?
Well, I mean, it's looking at you to see what you do.
Okay. Ugh. Fine. Fine. I will comply.
Oh, thank God! I was so scared.
Okay.
Can you at least read me out my Miranda rights?
Oh,
Can you at least do that much?
The dragon lifts its long neck up towards the sky, and it calls out, "2 of the criminals have been secured."
Sorry.
Ray and Rose, you guys hear a large rumbling voice from behind you. It says, "And what of you two? Are they part of your group?" As a large dragon climbs over the rooftop, landing in the yard behind you.
I look over my shoulder. Well, you don't see that every day, Ray. Yes, unfortunately, these the 2 children are with us.
I can't tell if Rose is cutting out or if I'm cutting out.
Oh, can you not hear me?
I can
I
hear
heard,
Rose.
yeah, I heard Rose on that one.
Okay,
It
just me.
responds.
Never
It
mind.
says,
Continue.
it says, "I see. What is the celestial with you? What realm is she from? Why is she here?"
She is not aware. I look at Ray. She is not aware of her. We merely were connected since my beginning in this world, and we've been inseparable since. Still one of the greater mysteries of our lives.
Okay. The dragon sort of tilts its head. It says, "Are you Outworlders?"
Well, here we go.
Rose sighs and goes, well, no point in lying, considering the consequences. But yes.
Can I hear this conversation, by the way?
I'm
You
not
can
too
hear the
loud.
dragon side of it, probably not Rose's.
Okay.
The dragon will flap its wings and move over, landing in the street. It looks back at you and Ray and says, "All right, follow me. Let's get this figured out."
Yeah. I'll follow.
Excellent. Cool. I'm sorry, Riley, but hearing that, Eris will sit and go, oh, thank God, one that's reasonable-ish.
The younger dragon steps forward and it says, "These two have been secured." The
yeah,
dragon
we sure
nods,
have, buddy.
and it says, "Good work, good work." He lowers his massive maw towards Riley, putting his head kind of level with yours, and it says, "Well, you're clearly a dangerous criminal."
I I
Oh,
look
yeah.
at him. I look at him, probably not like being pretty scared. Like a child being arrested. That is very scary for them.
Oh, yeah.
And so being in sheer fear, I'm like, no, sir, I promise. I tried to tell him we're not criminals. It's just a big misunderstanding.
Eris would like to stand up and drag Riley up by the back of his shirt.
The dragon stares at you, Riley, and shakes its head in disappointment. It says, "No sense of humor." It looks back at Rose. It says, "All right, so you're Outworlders. You have equipment and whatnot. Where exactly are you from, and how did you get here? The teleportation we sensed. Could you give us a little bit of information? I want to know why exactly you've come here and why you violated the laws of this city."
Well, it might be a
Not
long
willingly.
story, unless you guys got a long night ahead of you. Then I guess we can do it here.
I don't want a long story. I'd like a short one and an honest one. Would you mind submitting to the zone of truth?
Rose actually is interested when he says this. That she didn't realize there would be a spell like this. Rose will go. Yeah, sure.
All right. The dragon carves into the street a large circle, carving little runes along the outer edge of it. It then takes a step back. The young dragon flaps its wings, getting into the air and sort of going to the other side, ready for you guys to run, if you try to. It nods and says, "One or several of you can step into the circle. The way the magic works is once you step in, you will be unable to tell a lie."
Cool.
All
All right, team. Who wants to do it?
I finally
You
go,
and Ray are
"Oh,
doing
this is easy." And I'll step in with Rose.
Oh, we're all entering? Sure.
I assume the way he said that we could all walk into
Yeah,
it.
party of 4. We're all telling the truth. Let's go, team.
Okay. The dragon lets out a breath, and as its breath reaches the circle that it carved, the runes light up. You guys can choose to make charisma saving throws if you would like, or you can choose to fail.
I will fail.
Yeah,
I will fail.
we're all interested in telling the truth.
I wasn't going.
Too, but Riley's here. He's not gonna lie. No point.
The dragon nods, satisfied. It says, "All right, let's get this over with quickly. My son and I have much more patrolling to do. Do you intend this town, this city, any harm or ill intent?"
Well,
No,
of course
sir.
not.
Nope.
It looks over at Ray and sort of tilts its head, waiting for an answer.
Unfortunately, she can't speak. Although I can give her a voice and she can answer her own questions if you wish.
No, that's all right. As long as you three say no, I don't imagine that the celestial among you has the one with the ill intent. All right, next question. What was the nature of the teleportation that brought you here?
What appears to be either random or at least random to us. We were previously we walked through dungeon fog and ended up here.
I follow up with, yeah, we're not really sure how it got us here.
It looks over at Eris.
Oh, shit, we all. Oh. Yeah.
Everybody entered the
Dungeon
Thunderdome.
fog. I thought I'd be satisfied with those two. Okay. Yeah, we came through the dungeon fog. No idea how we ended up here. We need to get home, please.
Where's home?
Oh, shit. What was the country?
Oakland.
Oh,
Well,
was it
we originally came from Oakland.
Okay.
That's what you told us, right? Am I?
Yeah, no, that's correct.
Okay.
He bares his fangs. He says, "Ooh, that lot then. Um, all right. Well, I have good news and bad news." He breathes out a breath, and an illusion of a map appears.
Whoa!
Dude, that's a sick ability. He's Dora, but cooler.
He points at Foxhall. I think I might have said Fox Hill earlier. It is Foxhall. He points at Foxhall, and he says, "You are currently quite a few miles away from Oakland at the moment." And he points at Oakland, which is closer to the coast.
I look at it, wanting to redeem myself, knowing that he is nice and friendly now, and do pop the good old classic. I mean, it really only looks like a couple inches to me.
Yeah, you can make a persuasion check with advantage.
Oh, let's go! We love these. 15? 15's not bad?
Does it get a giggle?
It opens its mouth, and a very loud, barking laughter.
Let's go!
The
Doves!
creature behind you joins in a higher-pitched, sort of whining laugh. As you see several other lights come on in the apartments surrounding you guys. The dragons pay that no mind, however. It looks down at you and says, "Well, that was a good one, so you do have a sense of humor."
Yes, when I'm not scared for my life, I do like to partake in a few jokes every now and then.
"Why are you scared for your life?" He airs his eyes suspiciously.
Well, I didn't know what y'all were gonna do. We'd never been here before.
"You don't have brash dragons in your world?"
No, not from where we're from. I mean, you already know we're Outworlders, right?
I mean, any world worth its salt should have some brash dragons in it.
There were mentions of some.
I look to him like, listen, I wish we did, because y'all are cool. Kind of looking between the two of them.
They nod in agreement. I say, "Well, brash dragons here in Eklund, you don't need to fear us. We only do harm to those who would wish to harm others."
I do nod and give a smug look to the other two, seeing as I was somewhat right in the situation.
In any case, I think that we can safely say that you had no control over the teleportation that brought you here, so you are not guilty of that crime. Your presence in the park after nightfall and your violation of curfew, similarly, you had little control over. It looks over at the younger one and says, "Well, son, what should the verdict be here?" The son will make an intelligence check.
Oh, God. Oh, don't do this to us. Okay, that's not bad.
And
That's
not
bad.
the worst. Not the
It
worst.
sort of tilts its head, still eyeing Riley suspiciously.
God damn it.
Oh, poor Riley.
It says, "Don't Outworlders tend to be adults?"
I do look at him and go, yeah, I get that a lot.
The adult dragon looks down at you, Riley. It says, "All right, I suppose we should clear that up. Are you all Outworlders?" I know that, well, yes, if all of you could answer, please.
Are we still in the
Yep.
truth serum thing?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean,
Unless-
I planned on telling the truth anyway, but I was just curious. Yes, I am.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, so it looks like it is a child Outworlder. I suppose I'll ask to be sure. Are you changing your form or hiding your true form in any way?
No, sir.
Yep.
Just a
Right.
extremely bright young one.
No. Ray nods her head.
Okay. The dragon nods, satisfied, and he says, "All right, with that additional information, the verdict." The young brash dragon, he sort of scrapes the pavement, clearly somewhat upset. It says, "I guess we can let them go." The dragon nods, satisfied. It says, "We certainly can. I suppose, how exactly do you intend to get back to Oakland?"
That's actually one thing I was gonna ask before y'all left. What would y'all say is probably the best and fastest way for us to get there? You know, with causing the least problems, obviously.
Well, the fastest way of getting there, I suppose, would be teleportation, but it doesn't seem like you have access to such magic. The second fastest would be he flaps his wings on Dragonback.
I do kind of like try to hide my smile. I'm like, well, is there a dragon flying service?
He looks down at you and says, "Oh no, we don't offer our services for money. We respect, of course, the economy and the money that Eklandians enjoy so much, but no, we don't engage in such things."
Oh, well, is there any way we could take that transport, or is there a third fastest option?
He tilts his head again. He says, "I suppose you could go on horses. I think we have a stable that uses such creatures. You could, well, I should clarify. We will not accept money for this service, but you might be able to convince one of my flock to take you."
Being very excited, I look at Eris and Rose and go, "Oh, well, I mean, of course, I would be honored to have the opportunity to do that." Looking towards Eris and Rose, you two?
Well, we can be a persuasive bunch when we decide to. Maybe we can persuade one of your flock. Do you guys always take payment, or is being persuasive good enough?
It looks down at you. It says, well, it depends on each of us is an individual, and we each do things in our own ways. I, for example, only accept those who are willing to clean my entire body with scrubs and soap.
How big is this dragon?
It is quite large. I would say it's probably about 20-25 feet from a snout to snail there,
Okay.
or tail rather. Wingspan around the same, if not a little larger.
Okay. Looking at him, I go, do any of y'all happen to do bouts of intelligence?
It says maybe.
Well, that's pretty much what I'm best at. Miss Rose over here is really good at music, though. If any of y'all really like music.
Okay, well, wait a minute here. You're all still affected by the truth thing. I'll ask you, are you intending any harm on me or my flock?
Of course not.
Nope.
All right. Do you intend, if I take you to our area, will you reveal that location to anyone?
Nope.
Nope.
I don't intend to.
All right, good enough for me. He or she kneels down and says, "I'm willing to take you to our area, and you can ask the young ones if any of them are willing to take you and what they might be willing to do in response. Or we can leave you here. I can find you. I can bring you to an inn. That is another option."
Oh, I would love to go to the to your home. Again, looking at the other two.
Yes. Currently, we have no Eklund currency at all, so presumably this is our best way, at least fastest.
Yeah, we poor as hell, aren't we?
Poor would mean we have little money. We have no money. We are broke.
Oh, we broke as hell.
We got some wood scraps though, huh?
You use that for one of your materials, actually. So, yeah.
Shit, you're right.
Damn, we're in the negative, broke zone.
Do you guys
We
get on?
accept his offer.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, he says, "All right, I will take you if you will ride on my back."
I very excitedly run over and I don't know if he like lowers his wing or what he does, but I follow suit or get on accordingly.
Sure. He does not lower himself any more than he already has, which would mean that Riley probably would have to have some difficulty getting on unless someone helps him.
Rose and
Yeah,
Ray pick him
I'll,
up and put him on.
Yeah.
Uppies.
Okay. You guys all get on the dragon's back, and it takes off into the air. It flies almost straight up, getting higher and higher until the city of Foxhill, a reasonably large city, is a small dot in the landscape. The air gets thinner as you climb higher and higher, and you do eventually. And to be clear, above you in this, you don't see anything above you in the sky. However, as it appears to pass some sort of threshold, it's almost like a bubble, you find yourselves landing on a floating rock in the sky above Foxhole. We'll place you on the map here. Whoop.
Oh, hey, God Almighty.
Yeah.
Whenever the warden said his thing to me, was that like an internal thing to me, or was that an external thing that everyone could hear?
That was an external thing that everyone could hear,
Okay.
for better or worse.
Okay. That's concerning.
It lands, depositing you guys somewhat unceremoniously on a ledge that sort of reaches out into the sky. It calls out and it says, "Yes, everyone," and it immediately jumps off, and it briefly looks back at you guys and it says, "I have to get back to patrolling. Good luck."
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. What would you guys like to do?
I wait until some sort of action by the dragons.
Oh, I'm stepping
I love
forward.
Basically, a few of the younger ones, all of them glance at you. In particular, the largest one at the back, it sort of like opens one of its eyes, it sort of lets out a snort, and then closes the eye again. Some of the younger ones, however, do sort of gather in a group, looking at you. They sort of look. They turn to each other and begin whispering to each other, still looking at you guys.
I'll approach. I'm assuming they're all friendly now to some extent. This may bite me in the ass, but we'll find out, huh? Yeah, I will step up and say, hello, dragons. I'm Riley.
One of them steps forward, and it says, "Hello, Riley. We are the dragons, the brash dragons of Foxhall." And it sort of lets out. It gives like a deep bow.
Oh, yes, I've heard. Y'all seem genuinely very impressive. Do y'all have names?
We do.
Oh, do y'all only share them to close people?
Yes, we only share them among our clan or to those very trusted who have proven their worth.
Gotcha. Fair enough. Me and my friends here, and I'll gesture back towards the squad. We're currently looking to see if anyone's willing to give us a ride to Oakland.
The two dragons on the right there, they look at each other and sort of cackle, high-pitched laughter. The dragon looks over at you and it says, "Do you jest or are you serious?"
Yeah, I look somewhat puzzled and go, well, I'm pretty serious, but we are willing to earn it. I understand that a lot of you tend to require something, or maybe fulfill a test of some kind, something like that.
He nods and he says, "Yes. We only do things in return for what we perceive to be equal acts of service.
As it should be.
Flight to Oakland is a rigorous flight for us, at least." And he sort of gestures to the three of them. "It is an easier trek, obviously, for the larger of our kind and the older. If you intend to ride on our backs, well, the service will have to be quite substantial."
While this is going on, I would like to make a mana sense to see which dragon is the most melodic.
Okay, sure. You can make a mana sense check.
Yeah, off the last thing, I'll let you answer my sense.
With an 18, I'll say some of the wormlings, the smallest ones that are clearly interested, but they're kind of they appear to be somewhat cowed by the fact that the young dragons are the ones who are speaking right now. There are two in the back that do have sort of positive melodies, and they are very interested in you and your group, but they are not coming forward, obviously, because the young dragons are the ones who are speaking right now.
And quick question, because we were told that we had 4 months to get this green amulet back, correct?
Correct.
And how long has it been since that timer started? It's still only been like a week or something, right?
We have a calendar.
Calendar time? Calendar time?
I don't know what day we started.
I do need to start marking when you guys do things.
When things happen.
I believe you guys came on like the 7th. Yeah, I don't know.
I'd have to check the VODs. I don't know the exact day.
Rival Outlanders.
I was like, we came on the 7th, took a rest at the thing, then did 2 days, then went out on the 12th, then spent 1 day on the 13th, and then the 14th. So I think that's right. I think the 7th is right.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. It's been about 7 days or so.
Okay. So yeah, knowing that we have quite a bit of time to spare at this point, I do go, yes, I do fully understand it's a very long flight, and it does not have to be like a one-night trip or anything. We're not expecting that of you. But nonetheless, I'm more than willing to hear y'all out as to what y'all need or what y'all want from us.
Okay. The courteous dragon.
He doesn't
You can
seem
make a persuasion check.
Ote? God damn it.
The courteous dragon says, "Well, I do wish you the best of luck, but the service that I would require of you, I fear would be too much." And it takes a step back and says, "I wish you the best of luck, though."
For the mana sense, I can make a separate one if you want. I was trying to more get a beat on the 2 big ones, but I can make a separate one if you want.
Sure.
Rather than 18.
I, looking a little annoyed, look to the other two. He might not see it, but I at least want both of you to understand that I am more than my size.
One of the dragons moves around you to the right, the other approaching on the left.
Oh shit!
I
don't move.
This one on the left, it towers above you, sort of stretching to its full height, and looks down at you. It says, "You are very small, even for a human."
I try to play as like confident as I can, even though this is a bit of a weak point for me right now. I do try to play off confident, and I look at him and I go, well, while I may be small in stature, looking around, I look around. I don't say look around, but like I look around. I look back to him. I am quite smart. And can definitely maybe help build something for y'all or craft something for y'all if that's something you desire. It seems a little barren. Maybe I could help lively the pace up.
Okay, with 15 Ray, I'll say you don't get much sense from the largest one in the back. You get the sense that you get is that he is deliberately making himself difficult to read to such efforts. The one on the left, though, however, it is paying closer attention to your group than the others. Yeah, it does appear to be like eyeing you out right now. The melody that it projects is like a watchful, sort of waiting, somewhat anxious tone.
Okay.
The one on the left, it says, why do humans always want to build things? Why don't you just... Oh, right, because you don't have claws and natural things that you can use to your advantage. And it sort of, it chuckles to itself. The one on the right, it says, even considering that you're a child, you are below average height for your age group.
Get fucked.
Oh,
Get actually
okay.
fucked. Get-
Ryu.
He told you to sit
Hold on,
down.
let me.
And listen.
What would be like a mental, like a con save? Is that how that would work? Possibly like a mental.
Told you to sit down and listen.
Hold on, let's see how this goes.
It would be a wisdom. Oh, okay.
Wisdom, okay. We'll roll both and see what our average is. Okay, average is pretty good. He'll hold his nerve for now. Riley holds it together. The voice like pace does change, and they can probably sense that he's getting a little agitated, but he's holding it together, like staying very formal. And does go, okay, yeah, sure, we do lack these physical features, but mentally we're quite apt, and well, you do have a lot physically. I think there's a lot to be left to fulfill. Getting a little sassy with them.
I'm currently tuning the guitar and Ray's helping me with it.
All right. Is there anything Eris would like to do? Or is she content to listen to Riley get bullied?
Get hazed.
My mic keeps cutting out, so quite honestly, I don't know what's going on half the time.
All right. Okay. They respond and they say, "Oh, so you're smart, are you? You have a big brain?"
Yeah, some would say this, yes. Oh, they're gonna shit on me so hard. Oh, I hate this.
Ray's. Oh yeah. Go. You can go. She would wait till there's a pause in the conversation.
Okay. The one on the right, it says, well, I would be about the same age as you with respect to my species, and I bet that I am much more knowledgeable than you.
Oh, he is a knowledgeable young brass dragon, huh? I turn to look at him and go, oh, well, how about a test? Or a bet, maybe.
Okay. No bets. We don't use money here. But a test, I think, is more than appropriate. Shall we do mathematics or geometry, perhaps?
I do cross my arms and go, whatever's easiest for you.
Yeah. You can make a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay. God damn it. I mean, 10's not terrible, but fuck.
And what you need.
Okay.
It nods slowly and it says, well, normally I wouldn't indulge in such things, but I suppose I could, just this once, just to show you the true disparity between our relative brain sizes.
Oh, this is so hype. I love this.
It moves back here. The other one kind of moves to the side. It begins furiously scrawling images and shapes into the soil.
Okay.
Along with equations and formula.
Of course.
And it eventually moves back and it says, all right, what is A?
Do I need to roll like a check?
How is Riley attempting to solve this puzzle?
Well, I mean, I suppose I look at it. What am I looking at the moment, I guess, when he says this? Am I just seeing a bunch of numbers? Like, what's the...
Yeah, so basically, there's a bunch of different shapes, each with various lengths associated with them.
Okay.
And there are quite a few variables among the shapes that are not defined.
Okay,
and
gotcha. Yeah, having done plenty of building and things like that, he is more than acquainted with things similar to architecture, so using geometry and stuff. So he would definitely be like calling back on any of his building plans when trying to figure out like how to find certain angles to put certain things together, or finding certain distances as to what length will work best. Using his building knowledge to find these shapes kind of in his head.
Okay. You can make an intelligence check with advantage.
Let's go. Alright. Please?
I'll say with a 12. It takes you more time than you might be comfortable with, and you do have to like take out a piece of paper eventually and start writing down and actually solving the equations as you find them. But after like a minute or two, you do eventually come up with what you believe to be the correct solution.
Okay. If I believe it to be the correct solution, I look to him and I go, well, Took me a little longer than I thought, but you know, I thought you would at least provide me with a bit more of a challenge, and I will flip it to him.
Okay. It lets out a snort, and it says, "Well, it looks like you were able to figure it out. Congratulations. However," and he will go ahead and make his own intelligence check with advantage. Let's see here.
Okay, wasn't great either. Let me take those.
He sort of nitpicks you, and he like points out like, "Oh, well, you didn't have to do this one. This one actually already gave you the information."
Okay. That's yeah. I respect that.
Nitpicky, like yeah, math professors.
Okay,
sort of,
if he does get into that, I would actually like if they're genuine nitpicks, I would like respect it. And as he's doing it, I do kind of have my mini like, oh, okay, no, that makes sense. Like I do like surrender a bit in that moment of like accepting this, like, oh, okay, no, that like I see that.
I am casting
Yeah.
spells. I don't know if that will do anything.
What spells are you casting?
That one.
Prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation
What does that
and
do?
one silent image.
Okay. What are you doing with them?
So I am making. Can you cast more than one prestidigitation?
Yeah.
I am casting several prestidigations, causing fairly pleasant and calm aromas. Then some of them are puffing the wind of these aromas. Some of these are also faint musical notes, as well as the silent image are. The silent image is two dragons, but not like Western dragons, like not like not the European ones, the Chinese ones, where they're like much skinnier. And they are going in a circle, like wrapping around each other, kind of. As I will start to sing a bit of a very like melodic and peaceful love ballad.
Okay. So all right. So as you do that, the knowledgeable and Riley and the knowledgeable dragon are talking about the math problem. It looks over annoyed at Rose as Rose does this, and it looks back at Riley and it says, "All right. This one's getting kind of loud and annoying. Would you like to? There actually have been some difficult problems I found. If you can help me solve all of them, I'd be willing to take you on my back at least."
Okay, I do get very excited at the thought of helping this dragon solve equations, and I go, oh, no, I would love to do that, and yeah, they don't really respect the art of the mind quite as much as I'd like, but that's all right.
Okay, perfect. And he reaches over and grabs you, unless you stop him. Or someone does.
I'll accept it. I'll take it.
He grabs you in a fairly uncomfortable ride up to the cliffside there, where he doesn't even like wait for you. He just starts scrolling out what appears to be memorized, in his head, various math problems, fairly complicated. In the meantime, I suppose Riley's helping him with that.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Rose, you may make a either persuasion or performance with advantage.
I'll take Can I do both? And then I'll make the persuasion be the one that counts, but I would like to see how well of a performance I would do.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Advantage or no?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
And I'll use the 1d4 on the persuasion if I can.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sad. Okay.
Okay.
That's better though.
Yeah. To be fair, it's been kind of a long day for Rose. In terms of you did fight the guy today. Technically.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we have a long rest.
Despite that, your love ballad, improvised though it may be, combined with the image of the illusions that are somewhat unusual and foreign to these creatures. The young dragon here, it lets out a snort and it like tries to blow away the image as it like approaches it. But not having that not be successful, he turns around and flies off, very saltily, as he is not interested in the love ballad. I'll say with a 26.
That's a good roll. That's a good
The,
fucking roll.
the adult dragon begins to take a step forward to sort of approach you, but then stops as a puff of air comes out of the nostrils of the ancient dragon. It does
Lame.
to its feet and begins to approach you with its large, massive strides. It sits down next to the image as the image is moving, both eyes open, kind of observing both you and the image as you complete your ballad. As the ballad finally comes to an end, it speaks. It says, "Your song reminds me of my mate."
Well, that is a most humble compliment. I have friends that I have not seen in a while as well.
What do you require? Why did my daughter bring you here?
Oh, we know the relations.
Well, we request a trip to Oakland, but selfishly, I understand, at least from my world, that dragons tend to be rather old and wise. So, if that cannot be completed, any new music that you might have heard, or any, well, I've never played for dragons before, so the new crowd interests me quite enough, I'll be honest with you.
Okay. He will reply. He says, a flight to Oakland is a simple matter. In terms of music, my kind, we prefer different sorts of entertainment. I find music to be an interesting pastime, but I cannot claim it as a passion. It is only your words through your song that I appreciated the music, not the other way around. I will also say, you say dragons are wise and ancient. The latter is certainly true, not always the former. I like to think that I myself have observed many things and have gained some small amount of wisdom from those experiences, but others as old as me, particularly those with different color scales, I would not consider them wise, and I doubt that you would either. Simply a warning. I do not want you to get the wrong impression based off of my clan, my flock, which is much more peaceful than most.
Very well understood. I appreciate the advice.
If you would do me another service, I would be willing to take you and your group.
Very well. And what would this service be?
He his eyes narrow towards, I believe Rose has the Mana Stone, right?
Correct.
He says, I would take that Mana Stone and I would perform a ritual with it.
Very well. Do I get to know the knowledge of this ritual, or the purpose of this ritual?
My intent was to imbue that instrument of yours.
Rose, her usual kind of straight demeanor immediately shatters, as she is for the first time a bit giddy, and does take a step up and goes, "I would humbly accept that. I don't even consider that as a service. I accept without second thought."
Very well. It reaches out its paw and or its claw rather, and for the Mana Stone first of all.
Yeah, I go up and give it.
Okay. He retrieves it and he throws it into his mouth.
He
With a
eats it, it's gone.
With a single gulp, he swallows it. And you see his scales glitter slightly with a blue energy. He says, "All right, let's get started." He, with two massive flaps of his wings, he rises into the air. He says, "Your companion should step to the side, both of them."
My man just traded our stone for a guitar. Can we talk about it?
Ray, you goddamn right I did, bitch. Ray kind of nudges Eris to the side as she will step to the side.
All right. It continues. I suppose Eris will probably step to the side. I don't think she's here to do it right now, but I think she probably would. It continues. It says, "Hold up the instrument, please."
Yeah, I hold it up above my head, both arms.
All right. Hold it steady now. Do not tremble.
I take the strongest grip.
And I suppose Ray and Eris would be able to see this as the blue energy snakes up its neck until it emerges through its mouth as a massive stream of air, what appears to be some sort of liquid, all tinged with this bluish energy, streams out in a single breath onto Rose, impacting largely the instrument, although a fair amount of it getting on Rose as well. The instrument glows. And Rose, you can make an intelligence saving throw. If you'd like to, you can fail as well.
And what would this pertain to, or do I not know?
You don't know.
I will just accept that. If he wanted me dead, I'd be dead. Yeah. Yeah. If it's trying to loosen my grip, I'll make it. If it is just like a.
I guess I'll give you this much. You feel like a mind that isn't your own, like a memory that is sort of being pushed onto your consciousness.
Okay. If that's the case, then I'll take the route of trusting the gargantuan dragon over here, and I'll optionally fail.
Okay. You find yourself, although again this is another being, but you perceive it as yourself for the duration that you're in the memory, flying with your mate far above the sky. You see distant the crowds of humans that you've taken under your protection, under your wing. There are moonlit nights that you recall high among your eyrie with your flock around you. You recall intimate moments as well. And then, of course, the inevitable farewell as your mate takes wing, heading to the south, as she is called to do. With all these memories, Rose blinks, all in the flash, a blink of an eye, as the breath stops, and the dragon lands on the ground somewhat heavily and somewhat shakily. You can add the, let's see. It is an actual item, and yeah, it is. So Peter Strickland's Mana Stone, first of all, that is deleted, so we can delete that.
This motherfucker.
However, the prototype electric guitar is now blessed with the let's see, this would be the blessing of the brass dragon.
All right, I'll give you this. It's cool.
If you'd like that to add that to the description.
Yeah. Where do I add it?
On the item, probably in your inventory.
I think there's like a descriptions in the items where you can.
Okay. I was making sure it's an edit thing and not a drag to item thing.
No, you'll just add it to the thing for now because you don't know exactly what it does just yet. But in any case, the dragon lands. It says, "I will leave the nature of the blessing I have granted your instrument for you to discover. However, I will tell you, wherever you play it, if my mate is within 100 miles, they will hear it."
Interesting.
I'm wiping like some tears away from seeing the
the visions, and I go, sorry. It was I apologize for I'm like trying to clear my throat. For the emotions, I never had anything like that in my world. Not even close. But it was nice to experience at least a fragment. Is there something you wish for me to tell your mate?
Uh, it shakes its head. It says, "She will return when she feels it is the right time. I do not wish memories of me to distract her from her duty. I thank you, though. Again, your song brought all this to the forefront. The emotion is unusual for me as well." It lets out sort of a deep chuckle. In any case, you have provided more than enough service. It looks up as Riley. You can go ahead and make an intelligence check.
Do I get advantage on this one too? Smile.
No, you did not get enough time to really drink in these problems here.
Let's fucking go, baby! Oh, let's go! I wanted this so badly.
As soon as the dragon like finishes with one problem, you solved it and has to write down another. It takes it in stride for like the first two, but then it gets increasingly annoyed as you keep solving the problems over and over. It eventually
What is so bad?
breathes a giant spray of acid, melting all the stone and the problems with it.
That's so funny.
And it says, "Okay, well, it looks like grandfather has decided to take all of you." He goes and grabs you and flies you down, roughly depositing you onto the ground next to Rose. And it says, those were only the medium level ones, so the hard ones you wouldn't have been able to. And he flies off.
Oh, God damn it.
The dragon looks over at you, Riley, the ancient dragon that is. It says, "Do not be concerned. The young ones are arrogant. They will mature with time. And you, I suspect, have already surpassed them in that regard."
I do smile, and I'm like, oh, I appreciate that. I was hoping to make a friend or two, but I suppose maybe next time.
It chuckles and nods. It says, "Should you visit here again, I will say this much. My grandson will not forget you."
I get a big smile on my face and go, oh, I hope so. Next time I need to bring something where we can maybe go a little more head to head.
It nods and says, "He does enjoy strategy games. I believe there's one called Emperor's Gambit that it favors."
Oh, I've tried that one. It's pretty fun.
I have no time for such games, but I hope that you and he will enjoy it should you ever return here. He takes 2 steps forward and bows gracefully, and he says, "I will take you to Oakland now."
Ray, giddy with excitement, more for Rose than for riding on the dragon or anything, does go up. As I go, right now, you say?
Yeah, it says, "I will need to be quick. I do not wish to leave my area unguarded for very long."
Well, very well. If he is extending some sort of motion to get on, I do.
Yeah. You guys all pile onto his back, I suppose. Rip Eris. I feel like it's always like the same time of night too, like about this time. She always.
The last hour, last
I was
like
like,
50,
I messaged her. She said she's trying her best to get it back, get it going.
All right. I will say before you guys launch, he says, "Is there a particular place you wish to be delivered, or just Oakland? I could sit down in the middle of town, but it might raise some alarm."
Well, yeah, actually, if you could bring us to the big mansion in Oakland, that would probably be the best.
And preferably, it's okay if we walk. We need not cause any problems for you on your way back.
So yes, of course. It doesn't have to be right on top of it or anything.
All right. I don't mind causing some problems now and again, but I suppose I will honor your request. It takes off with two massive flaps of its wings, and soon you find yourselves soaring through the air, the wind taking any sound or breath that you might be able to speak to each other with. As the flight, despite the great speed at which you're traveling, it is still a number of hours as the kilometers and miles are eaten up by the dragon's flight time. Certainly a lot faster than it might have been otherwise. He sets down relatively close to the mansion, letting you guys off and make your own way. You guys approach, I assume, and you guys can make decisions as to movement from here on out.
Are you back, Eris? Pause jam?
Yeah. How the fuck did you
Hey.
convince the dragon?
I'm just kind of like, I just kind of got it like that.
Yeah, I battled one in math problems and made him mad because I was so good. So I didn't really help in the actual getting us here part, but I accomplished what I came to accomplish.
So the dragon liked your math, and that's why it gave us a ride.
No, to be clear,
No,
I was not helpful, and he actually got somewhat frustrated because I nat 20 my math check at the end. So Rose did clutch that one.
Yes, the ancient dragon provided you a ride, thanks to Rose's emotion-filled love ballad.
Oh, nice.
During the ride, could we have done anything? I'll just say, could Rose have inspected the guitar?
Sure. You can make a perception check if you like. Or maybe an investigation check. Yeah, do an investigation check. That'd be more appropriate.
Can I make an excitement check, as I was just enthralled at the fact that I got to beat a dragon in intelligence competitions and then ride on the back of a giant one?
I don't think you need to roll a check there. I think you kind of make it.
You just start.
Fair enough.
With an 11, you kind of do basic tests. Like I said, you can't really hear much of anything over the sound of the rushing wind. I'll say with an 11, the only thing you kind of determine is that you get the sense that it doesn't appear to be like as fragile as it was before. Like, yeah, it appears to be much more durable. To what extent, you haven't really fully tested, but that is at least one thing, is you don't have to worry about dropping it and breaking it.
A +1 guitar. Let's fucking go. All right.
Okay,
All right.
so
I guess we
Go ahead.
arrived.
yeah.
I mean, you guys can see what you can see here. I'll put it that way. There is a soldier over by the fountain. He is facing your direction generally. He's kind of watching you guys.
I was about to say, is he doing anything with us walking forward? Have we met? I'm assuming we met this guy. Like, does he?
You do not recognize him.
Oh no. Okay, that might be a problem. I suppose walking up, seeing the person I don't know, I do turn and go, well, I guess we can just keep walking forward. I suppose first things first, though. Are we just going straight to one of the siblings?
Yeah, we should probably discuss that and the deal that I mentioned earlier. Well,
What? I'll ask, I guess, in character. Like, well, what exactly was the deal again?
giving it to the sister. That is as
Mm-hmm.
much as I'm willing to say, I believe.
Okay. I mean, yeah, right. I would look at you inquisitively and go, so you just want to give the stone to the craziest sibling?
It is a deal we made, and I would have potentially considered going against it, but my music has helped us quite a bit through the trying times. I believe we have gotten our fair worth.
Still no Peter get the amulet in the first place. What if it's her? and she
Alright.
never gives the amulet back to the old man and fucks us over.
Frankly, our duty is complete, and it is, I don't think, in our best interest to try to figure out family squabbles.
Well, I
Well,
agree.
wasn't
If
the
we
whole
give,
thing was that we need to get the amulet to the old man?
so yeah, if we give it to her and she doesn't give it to him, won't we just die?
Yeah.
Presumably, we still have 3 and something more months.
So, just to remind you of the exact thing that you are required to do, you were summoned to return Robert Redburn's Green Life amulet to his person within 4 months. Null if Robert Redford is dead.
Okay.
Okay. So we need to get the amulet. We need to make sure he gets that amulet on his person.
Correct.
Uh-huh. And if Nora doesn't do that...
Well, I guess maybe is, I understand you don't want to give us, whatever it is y'all may have discussed or talked about, but, is there at least a way we can give it to her, but affirm that it's going to get to him? Like, maybe we give it to her right before she shows it off? Because are you giving it to her so she gets claim over it? Like, she found it?
Giving it to her so she gives it to him.
I will say, when you discussed this with her, you asked, like, are you going to give it to him? And she did say that she would. But again, you can take that.
I didn't make an
And
insight, but I don't
she-
remember if I rolled particularly well.
I think was it an app? I don't know.
Listen, I just want to be in the room when she gives it to him. I just want to see with my own eyes that she gives it to him.
I'm okay
I
with
care
her. Yeah, I'm with Eris. I'm okay with her giving it, but I want to make sure that she gives it. So, like, if she asks for it tonight, I don't think we should give it to her yet until it's time to show it. Unless
Okay.
we're gonna go through the whole thing tonight, which we might.
You probably should. The man is dying, but I agree. I agree with both of you.
Okay, as long as we can agree to ensuring that she does show it off, I'm okay with this, because then it at least gets us off the hook for our side of things. While I really don't want to see this man pass, I would also like to live.
All right. Let's. I guess at this point, maybe we're like starting to enter the walkway of the mansion or whatever we were talking on the way.
Yeah.
I'll be stepping forward until the guard says something.
He doesn't say anything, but he is watching you guys as you're moving along.
I wave at him.
He does not wave back.
Bitch.
Pussy ass bitch. On God.
I'll assume that Eris is walking with everyone, unless otherwise stated.
She's shooting fireballs at the house.
Can you guys hear me?
Now we can. It's a little muffled, but we can hear you.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna have to do this on my phone, just so you guys know I can't back shit on my screen. So
Sad. Or sad.
We are currently walking into the house.
As you guys are moving,
fantastic.
you guys here. Perception checks.
Well, this is a problem. Possibly.
Don't say that when I can't see anything.
Yeah, I mean, to give you what we're looking at right now. So there's
Shit, perception checks from them. That's what we got.
there's a soldier and a justice guy, so some kind of judge seeming person, and he's standing in front of everyone in the house. So we don't know what's going on.
Maybe the man from the church, because
Yeah,
the
I
guy
think
did
that's
it illegally.
Yeah, I think that's a high possibility.
Well, let's hope he doesn't try to banish us.
At the moment, the soldier, who is, by the way, Philip is currently in handcuffs.
Uh-huh.
You'll be kind of watching him. The justice is turned away from you guys. The 4 individuals, the 2 lieutenants, Nora and Maynard, sort of seated, facing the justice. Those 4 have seen you. The justice and the soldier have not yet.
Oof. I mean, Riley's not saying a peep right now. He is just dead silent watching. Are they in the middle of talking or anything?
No. The Justice appears to be reading something, but you have no idea what. And the others are not talking either. They're seemingly waiting.
I stop and start backing up, even pushing Riley a little bit back.
Yeah, I mean, I will accept that. I will walk backwards quietly.
As we're slowly walking backward, and I will try to open this door to the left.
Yeah, you can open it.
And I scoot on in and
No, Riley
suggest the other
follows.
two
No,
do
you're
the
right.
same.
Riley is following.
Close the door, and then I am putting my ear up to the wall.
Yeah, right. Riley's doing the same. So we're basically in the room below the main room, Maris.
We're in the game room. Riley got shot at.
Yeah, you're not able to hear anything, but as I said before, they aren't talking right now.
Oh, that's right. Okay, Riley gets as close as he can between everybody, assuming Eris is kind of doing the same thing. Standing between everyone, just goes, so what's the plan?
Well, I'm assuming we wait this out. There's two possibilities, and I feel bad for Philip, but currently not our place if the other four aren't doing anything. I don't think we're winning that fight if we're trying to get aggressive. And also, if I can keep you out of sight, I would preferably like you not to be taken. So for the meantime, I suggest we wait a little bit.
Okay, I mean, yeah, I guess that's pretty much the best we got right now. And I will go ahead and follow suit and put my ear to the thing, waiting for words to be said. Eris, do you have any input? I know you can't say anything, but that's the general situation we're in. That was a fun
Church
noise.
people are pissed to see Philip. Thank you. But if the church people are pissed to see Philip, I don't want to see their reaction when they see us.
Logical.
Yeah.
That's it. It's fairly logical. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you guys are waiting.
The waiting game.
Okay. You do begin to hear noises, voice, which is fairly loud and kind of echoes through the hall. He's not being quiet. It is a regal, very like precise diction sort of voice. It says, "Appears I need to double check my diviner's predictions. Perhaps we can check with the soldier outside, see if he's seen anything."
Oh, shit.
Shit. Oh shit! Should have killed him.
I should have killed him. I walk in between everyone real quick, hearing this, and I go, "Okay, if we're gonna do it, our best chance is probably gonna be to run in there and get what info we can from them while he goes outside, because they're gonna know we're here."
Did the soldiers see us sneak away?
No, so the soldier was outside.
Sultar's coming up.
Okay.
So he did see us walk into the building, but he's gonna be confused when they say that they didn't see us.
You guys can all,
Do you think the soldier does?
Say that again. Sorry.
you guys can all make perception checks. I'll roll for Eris.
Yeah, I was like, I wish I could, Hudson.
You got a 10.
I'm trying to listen
Damn
to
it.
see when they walk by the door.
That is what this is for.
Okay.
Okay, I'll say Ray does hear two pairs of footsteps. I'll say with a 17. One much heavier, one lighter and more clipped and like professional. They do pass by your room and open the front door and head outside.
All right, send it, boys and gals. Okay, so we're currently running into the room with everyone else. Oh shit.
Fuck.
Oh, what? Oh shit!
Riley,
Why?
motherfucker,
Oh
why'd
no!
you go in the middle?
Well, so the justice didn't leave as we thought he did.
I wanted to peek.
It was Philip and
Oh shit!
He will roll another perception check.
I was gonna say I'm stomping. Let's
Okay.
go.
He has his arms clasped behind him, waiting patiently. Doesn't appear to have noticed you yet.
I look
despite
I look at Rose and Ray.
I immediately Ray drags Riley back as he was way too giddy. Ray tries to tiptoe, and assumingly the four can see her. She will try to.
Hold on. I'm gonna see what I can cook up here. Goddamn, we're having this spell flush so French.
All right, I can fall at the Justice. Hit him real hard. Actually, I can't. It'd be kind of a sick entrance, though, huh?
I can make a color, small mark, or symbol. So I will make a question mark, and
That's
maybe someone
so
will
funny.
respond.
Nora, Vernon, and Simeon don't. They clearly do like notice you, but they're trying not to draw attention to you right now, so they don't like make any reaction. Maynard kind of shifts uncomfortably, looking at you a little bit more obviously. The Justice immediately turns to Maynard and says, expecting someone. Maynard says, "Oh, no, I was just, the soldier's been gone for a moment. I hope he's all right out there. He might have gotten lost." And he will make a deception check.
Motherfucker, Maynard.
The Justice looks
Not
behind
Maynard's
him,
fault.
following Maynard's
It's not
gaze.
Maynard's fault. What the fuck are you talking about?
We love Maynard.
And he sees the four of you standing in the entrance there.
We were right in the entrance.
Yeah, okay, it's hard to explain what we're doing without you seeing it.
Why are we in the entrance?
There's only one place to be.
They were coming up with a plan, and it was not quite quick enough, unfortunately.
Oh,
This is so much funnier when I can't see anything.
I'm gonna decapitate Maynard, bro. He's causing so much issues.
You leave Maynard alone!
I'll decapitate you too, Squirt. Fuck off.
He strides forward fairly quickly, stopping. He says, "By your descriptions, I take it you're the Outworlders Philip summoned."
No, not at all.
Yeah, I mean, Riley looks to the four of them and back to the Justice and back to the other three, not saying anything because he knows that he's probably the largest target right now.
Is it convincing if we say no?
His eyes darken. He does not have much of a sense of humor, it seems.
That's fucked up.
He says, "It would only reduce my respect for you." Now,
Yes.
he holds out a hand. He says, "I will be taking possession of the Green Life Amulet, please."
Ooh.
Oh, it's a good thing we don't have it, right, gang?
It is in a safe place. We needed to secure our safety. We're not very sure on how the treaty of our lives work.
You do not need to be frightened. I will be returning to its rightful owner momentarily.
I want to say things, but I don't want to get in trouble. God damn it.
As I'm talking to him, I would like Ray to look at especially Nora and Vernon to see what the fuck I should do here.
Ray can make an insight check. Now that the Justice has his back turned to you guys, Nora is making hand gestures towards you, basically indicating, "Hey, you better follow the effing deal." Is sort of the vibe.
Okay. Okay.
Maynard, he looks uncomfortable, and he's making like motions with his robot arms, trying to like indicate various things, but he's clearly very flustered and he's not communicating very effectively. Vernon is just like he has both of his hands kind of gripped on the arms of his chair, and he's a little bit pale. He's not making any attempt to communicate. Simeon,
The Justice, his back is turned, right?
Justice
back
is
is-
looking at us right now. His back is to the
Oh,
people.
yeah.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah. That's what he gets. Would Eris like to say something?
No, I was gonna use the spell message. But if he's looking right
I
at
didn't
it,
Right.
Yeah, I didn't
That
realize
would've
you
been
had
useful.
that. Oh, that would have
Uh,
been so nice. Oh, I didn't realize you
yeah,
had it.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay. So you said that it's in a safe place, the Green Life Amulet.
Yep.
Yeah, he says, well, I'm certain, and as he says this, the door behind you does open up, and soldiers come back.
Oh no.
Seeing you guys,
oh, there's no
he's
Philip.
he somewhat loudly reports. He says, "Yes, the private did report these 4 individuals. I suppose we must have just missed them." The justice nods and he says, "Very well. You may wait a moment there. I suggest that we go and collect the Green Life Amulet, as it should be in its proper hands, the hands of the state, as soon as possible."
There's only 2 of them. We can take them.
I was technically agree, but I kind of agree, but I don't have spell slots.
No, yeah, I don't have any either. It's definitely not a good idea.
all right. Sir, if you may ascertain my question, if I were to give you this green light amulet, would our lives be forfeit?
No. No such sentence has been declared. No ruling at all has been made for your case. When you give me the Green Life Amulet, as soon as I am done delivering what sentences and what declarations I have to give, I will return it to the person of Robert Redburn, as I believe it is stated in the contract that was made with you by Philip.
Okay. And if I ponder a bit further, what does... And I mean, no offense, obviously we're Outworlders and we have no knowledge of what's going on, traditions and customs and such, but... Why are you here?
I am Justice Kennedy.
Nice to meet you, I am Rose.
I am a representative of the state of Eklund, and I have come here to deliver various rulings according to the law and according to my perception of the situation that the criminal Philip has allowed to profligate in this manner.
I see. And when they talked about the church, it seemed like the church and the government were one and the same.
That was not the impression that you got.
Okay, then I guess I'll ask. In this country or city or town, are the church and government one and the same?
No, we are not a theocracy. The government, the state of Eklund, works hand in hand with the Church of Catras, and they did, they requested that they be allowed to handle the situation. But given that the individual Robert Redburn and the Redburn family is a significant group within our wonderful state, it was determined that a state representative should deal with this matter.
Right. As it...
Okay, you need to give me a second to think here.
Yeah. Good thing
When-
that amulet's still in the dungeon, Faga.
Still, it's actually with the dragons. We gave it to.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
Sure.
exactly.
Wait,
supposed to
didn't
do
like,
that?
Yeah.
like the witch actually took part of it? It's like scattered everywhere at this point. Right?
It's like, oh, it's like kind of returned to the soil in which it came from. Very well, sir. Do your sentences, should we be aware of any of them?
I have not made any yet. I've been waiting for your arrival.
Very well. Will our matters be discussed in public as well? Or, well, for the rest to see?
Yes, it is the tradition in Eklund to be as open as possible, and no matters related to any of you relate to any state secrets.
Well, all right. Then I wish, or I guess, fuck. All right. Wow. God.
Eloquent.
Have I ever mentioned how beautiful your eyes are, Justice Kennedy?
You're looking
In case
ravishing
you're
today.
wondering, adorable does not help here.
Motherfucker. Okay. Okay. But like Ray's like really trying. Like
The puppy eyes.
the puppy eyes
She-
twirling the hair, right?
She
like the
changed.
girl.
She changed her disguise to be more proper and formal, like Justice Kennedy.
Okay. Ooh, Nora, my sweet, beautiful slut. Wow.
I mean, but he's right. He's right.
I mean, I'm not, you know.
As like Rose is hesitating here, Nora does do like the thumb over her throat gesture at you.
Well,
I
She's
would,
out for blood.
I
Yeah,
would,
this is. Yeah, you can go. You can go.
I was gonna lean over, especially seeing Nora do the thing and having assumedly caught wind that she's like, "Hey, you just need to fucking listen." I lean over to Rose, kind of behind, like leaning behind Ray. I'm like, "Hey, I think we should just give him the thing. Seemingly, he's not gonna kill us."
I don't trust him.
very well. We will go ahead and get the amulet. I don't believe you mean us any harm currently. So, if it is all right with you, granted, deceiving you here provides us no pro, as our lives are still currently on a time clock. We will go and get the amulet. It is not far. We will try to uphold with the best of our understanding of the traditions and customs that are aligned.
Okay.
I'll
You can
roll
make you can make a deception check.
All right.
Roll high, roll high.
Oh god! Got an 18.
Okay.
Just
Jesus
literally just
Christ
nat 20.
Almighty!
Another not can't advantage because I was a smooth talker.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make a deception check.
Sorry, you cut out there. Was it with advantage or?
Yeah, no, just a deception check.
Okay, cool.
Hey,
Just
let's not
making
ask
sure.
again. Hey, let's not ask again, just in case. You know what I mean?
A valiant effort, but just as Kendi's eyes narrow, he says, "I believe that you have the amulet on your person. If you would produce it, please." And he holds out a hand.
I take a deep sigh, and I take a deep sigh and go, well, you can never be too careful with your own life as well as with the life of compatriots and children. Begrudgingly looking at Nora because we have no way out at this point.
Yeah, she's blaring daggers at you.
I give like a genuine like I was trying look back at her as I produced the amulet.
There's no point. I'm not gonna get into an all-out warfare with a fucking government yet. I don't think level 4 is the right call.
We gotta get a little stronger.
Give me level 5. Give me my 2 extra attacks, and then we'll be cooking.
We get there.
Okay. He takes the amulet and he puts it in a vest pocket.
In a Ziploc baggie.
In a Ziploc baggie, yes. Evidence Exhibit A, as they say. He says,
Right next to the copious amounts of marijuana found on the premises.
yeah, you guys find he finds quite a bit of legal things on you. He gestures. He says, "All right, if you would join the ranks of the other accused," as he steps forward.
Defeated, I will go.
I do kind of make my way to slide next to I mean, there's not a good way for me to do this because of the squares, but I slide my way next to Maynard, smiling very happily to see him again. And as I get next to him, I just kind of whisper, "See, I told you we had it." As we get there, knowing we're in a pretty shit spot, but you know.
Yeah, he is, like I said, he's very flustered and clearly very anxious. But he nods and claps you on the back with one of his robot arms, and he says, "Well done, Master Riley. Well done. I had my doubts, but I'll admit you're quite the impressive young man." And one of his other arms sort of goes for a fist bump.
Oh yeah, 100%. I take that.
He continues. He says, "Now don't be frightened. Don't worry. Whatever happens here, I'm sure that things will work out for you. The Eklund State, they're many things, but they're good to children. Well, for the most part."
I give him a very interesting look and go, "Well, I guess that's at least kind of reassuring."
Justice Kennedy surveys the individuals arrayed before him. He says, "All right, I've already received all the testimony I care to hear from these four. Now, he, well, for the second time tonight, he takes a book and speaks a few words, casting a spell. Actually, before that, he does say, I don't know how aware you are of our traditions, but we cast a spell to ensure that witnesses tell the truth." Is Eris trying to leave?
No. Don't worry about it. Mind your business, Hudson.
I think the Justice is going to worry about it.
Yeah, the Justice looks over at Eris and says, "If you could join the ranks of your compatriots."
I am.
When he says this,
Riley.
even to Eris, I was going to say, I do move out when he says this. Riley doesn't want to be seen as not part of the team.
In any case, he says, "We cast a spell to ensure that all witnesses are speaking the truth.
Are you stepping away from me purposely?
No, I just wanted to be in the middle.
Oh, okay.
Should you attempt to resist this spell, it will be assumed that you intend to lie. So I recommend that you accept the spell's effect." He, with his sort of, very serious look he gives to Riley, he says, "There's a bit of a technicality here. We do not subject minors to spells without their guardian's permission, and as you do not have an assigned guardian at the moment, such permission cannot be given. You are not required to submit yourself to this if you would step aside."
So he asked me to step aside?
That is what he's saying to do, yes.
Yeah, no. I look at him, unhappy with the way he's treating my gang here. I say, I'm sorry, but I'm a part of this team as much as any of them, and I worked just as hard to get that amulet, so I'm gonna be a part of it.
Okay. You can make a persuasion check.
Bitch, what's he gonna do? Physically move me? Keshi shatter hands, bitch.
Okay, with a 14, he frowns. He says, "Very well. As the spell effects are not generally harmful in nature by any means. At the most, they prevent you from speaking lies, which can be physically uncomfortable, but hardly negative or deleterious effect. You may, of course, present testimony if you so desire." He takes out a book and he speaks a few words, and in a circle centered, I'll say, around Rose, for about 15 feet, similar to before, there is sort of bluish energy marking the bounds of the circle. You guys can choose to make charisma saves if you would like to, or you can choose to fail.
You probably won't tell me the answer to this, but does he know if we attempt to fight it?
I'm not sure how Riley would know that.
Okay, I figured that was the answer. I'm not, but I was just curious. I'm accepting it.
Yeah. Once again, assuming that Riley is not, I won't.
Okay. All right. As he casts the spell, he looks over at Eris and he says, "Please join them in the circle."
Fucking Goddamn legal system. Okay, I can't move my character.
I hate rules.
All right. I assume I'll say Eris sort of takes up her stance next to Ray there. Whoop. Do you choose to make a charisma save or no?
No, what's the point? One of these days, I do just want to do that just to see what happens.
We will at some point.
He nods, satisfied. He says, "All right. I would ask that each of you answer this question in turn, beginning with Miss Eris and ending with Riley on the left. Do you have any information as to who gave or who assisted Peter Strickland in his theft of the Green Life Amulet?"
No.
Justice, I will answer shortly, but my compatriot here next to me cannot speak. If I may either...
He nods and he says, "I'm aware of your companion's condition. She is not required to answer."
Very well.
Okay, sassy ass.
Well, as far as we know, the answer is no. He appeared to be a man concerned with his own lust. We'll put it that way.
Riley giggles.
Man tried to fuck a statue.
He looks over at Riley and he says, "Again, you do not have to answer, but if you wish to participate in this, you may."
Mm-hmm. This is true. While he did have companions, they are dead, and we don't know who they are, so we don't know anything about them.
That's
All right. Justice Kennedy looks, he scowls at these answers. He is clearly upset that you don't have any information, but he is confident that you are telling the truth. He says, "Very well." He looks back at the four of them. He says, "If you had to take a guess, which one of these individuals do you think is most likely to have helped Peter Strickland?" Immediately, Nora jumps to her feet and points at him. She says, "I believe that's called leading the witness, Justice." Maynard kind of nods in agreement. Vernon stays pretty still, same as he was before.
Does
The
Simeon do anything?
Simeon looks over at Vernon, but no, he doesn't do anything in
Okay,
particular.
I was curious, not being really a part of the family, if he'd say anything.
The Justice looks at you four and he says, "She is correct. I am asking perhaps more than is typically asked. You may choose not to answer this question if you so desire."
Well, I ain't answering.
Any of you choose?
I'm waiting for yours. I'm waiting for the other two to say something because I assume it's in the same order.
Eris goes, "Yeah, I'm not saying anything. I'm not accusing someone without evidence."
Rose does say more or less the same thing. As we have no information, any answer we would give is solely based on our likeness towards their individual personalities, not on any concrete proof.
All right. I assume Riley does not answer.
I'd say similar thing. Agreed. While I do like some of them more than others, I don't think any of them are more or less likely, from the knowledge that I have, to have stolen or helped steal it.
Justice Kennedy, his scowl somehow deepens. He says, "Very well. In that case, I shall consider the matter settled for lack of further evidence. Beyond that, we will move on to the next bit of the proceedings here. Riley," he looks over at you. "You are a minor, and in Eckland, minors require guardians." He looks over at Eris and Rose. He says, "As this is a very unusual circumstance, I will listen to suggestions. As you two have spent the most time with the minor, I would ask your opinion."
Oh, go ahead.
Who do you feel is capable and is most likely to result in good outcomes should they be chosen to become the legal guardian of Riley?
I do immediately butt in, like as soon as he finishes before anyone says anything, and go, listen, I understand you have your rules, but I'm not just a regular kid. I mean, I'm an outworlder like the rest of them. I don't need a guardian.
You can make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Imagine.
Oh, disadvantage. Damn.
Get the fuck out of my game. Let's go. I rolled a 17.
What did you get?
17.
A 17.
With disadvantage, baby. Oh, whoa.
Just as Kennedy narrows his eyes, he says, "Very well. I'll rephrase the question, I suppose. I again address this to Miss Eris and Miss Rose. Do you feel that Riley is capable of assuming all the responsibilities, duties, and potential dangers of adulthood?"
Well, yeah, he's been doing that the second we went into the dungeon.
Yes, I believe the same. He is capable, and if not more capable than a lot of the adults that I have met in this world or my past.
Oh, my gang backs me up.
Okay. I'll say, Rose, you can make a persuasion check with advantage since Eris is helping you in this instance.
Nice
Same with
fucking
Supreme
roll.
Work.
Let's go.
Justice
did you get?
Kennedy,
28.
he shakes his head slowly. He says, well, despite I had very strong opinions going into this. However, seeing as you three, well, four, I suppose, did accomplish what was sure to be a very difficult task, and the opinion of the two adults with the child is that he is a capable member of their group, I will rule that Riley be declared an emancipated minor.
Let's go.
He looks over at you,
I'm
Riley, and he says,
emancipated.
I should warn you, should you come into any trouble with the legal system, you will be tried as an adult.
I nod my head and just go, as it should be.
He nods. He says, very well. With that matter settled as well, I suppose only one task remains. He looks back and says, please wait with these individuals. And he walks off, closing the door behind him.
Leaving us to the wolves.
After a few minutes,
While this happens, I do real quick kind of turn to Rose, Eris, and Ray and just go, sorry. I turn to the three and just go, hey, thanks, guys. I appreciate you backing me up. I was a little worried there for a bit.
Eris goes, no problem, little buddy. And then she, like, ruffles his hair.
Yeah, I don't really respond.
after a few minutes, footsteps approach the door, as does a creaking sound, as Justice Kennedy returns with an individual in a wheelchair moving along with him, clearly somewhat slowly, but very obviously cogent and aware, as the soldier sort of takes steps back, as does Justice Kennedy. He deactivates the zone of truth around you guys. He gives sort of a brief bow, and he says, take care that I do not have to deal with any more of this. I hope I never see any of you again. He departs with the soldier at his back, leaving you guys alone in the room with the Redburns, Maynard Collins, and Simeon Hugh. Robert, he wheels his thing forward. He does have the green life amulet around his neck. He looks over at you three. He says, the Justice gave me a brief summary of what occurred. I suppose I have my life and my cognizance. I have you to thank for it. He looks over at Riley. He says, I understand that you're a crafter yourself.
I do smile and go, yeah, I'm actually really liking it here. A lot of new, unique things to craft.
What manner of items do you wish to craft in the future?
I scratched my head for a sec, kind of thinking, wanting to plop down to my thinking stance, but knowing it's probably not appropriate right now. Go, well, I suppose it depends on where we kind of end up going next. Seemingly we do get in a lot of fights, so as much as I would like to craft more fun things, combative things seem to be the most useful, but somewhere in between fun and combative.
Okay. Robert Redburn's face falls. He says,
Aw.
I see. I was afraid of this. He looks over at Rose and Eris and says, what reward would you deem suitable for your service? I guess Eris isn't here right now, so I guess we're still ask Rose.
I'm trying my best.
Let me think.
Does Eris have an answer?
I mean, she's willing to let the more eloquent Rose take the lead, but if she doesn't, she's going to say money.
I understand, and I have been shown that there are a lot of very talented tinkerers and such here. I would like a quite what's the word? Hold on. Technological shield or armor. If Riley is going to be considered an adult, regardless, someone needs to protect them from the more physical dangers of life.
Nice.
Robert nods slowly. Very well. I can certainly oblige such a request. Miss Eris, do you have something that you'd like?
What were the things that leveled us up? Mana stones?
Yep.
You got any mana stones on you, my good man?
Unfortunately, none of sufficient quality for
Darn.
you to absorb, I suspect.
I figured you wouldn't let me jump to level 5, huh?
Hey, if you guys find someone with access to mana stones, is that he would not have that quality of mana stones with him.
Damn it. Is Riley gonna take it over reward, or is he only talking to the two of us?
He's only talking to the two of you.
He only said something to Rose and Eris. Riley will butt in here shortly. Trust, he's letting you finish.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess Eris will go. Well, I have no shame. Money, please. We need funds if we want to live a decent life going out in this world.
Very well.
Thank you.
He claps his hands. He says, Virgil. Virgil steps out of the side room very quickly, moving to his master's side. Robert Redburn points over at Eris and says, transfer to that one 2,000 gold pieces.
God damn, baby.
Virgil steps over and reaches out a hand to you.
Oh, I take that with jubilation.
Okay,
Okay,
my eyes do light up when Virgil comes into the room. And I do go, Lena, as this starts happening, Mr. Robert, sir?
Yes.
I don't know if you were upset with my answer earlier or anything, but can I at least ask you questions about your tinkering and stuff? It's really cool, and Maynard was actually teaching me some stuff, and I'd love to be able to just like craft things like that. It's so unique, and like Maynard's arms and stuff.
Robert Redburn looks at you. He looks a I'll say at this, yeah, his eyes are watering. He says, you remind me much of myself when I was younger. But I'm afraid, Riley, that you and I are destined to be enemies.
Oh.
Yeah, I get a very sad face. I was so excited to meet him. I go, what? I like friends.
Oh, baby.
He kind of turns his head away. He is crying a little bit as.
Oh my god! Wait, what are you doing to me? That's it.
He says, unfortunately, I sense in you, and based off of what the Justice told me, you have a mind of creation, perhaps equal to my own. If such a mind is allowed to exist here in Eklund, and is willing to create weapons, I fear that the mistakes of my past will be repeated once again. This time not merely with clockwork soldiers, but perhaps weapons of even greater destruction.
Oh shit. I look at him very much understanding what he's saying. Oh god damn it. Yeah. Even this moment, it doesn't have to be weapons. It's that was just what we've required lately. I've not been able to try anything else.
You can make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Fair
Disadvantage.
enough.
Damn, come on, another 17. Another
Oh, this would be
17.
so sick. Oh my god, I'm praying so hard. Imagine. With a 10? Meh?
Not a 1.
That's not gonna be enough. That's not gonna be enough.
He says, I suppose a compromise, as you are young, and it does pain me greatly that this is the way things must be. I'll give you a year, Riley.
Oh,
I will have those who watch over you see your deeds in the course of that year. And if by the end I feel that you are going to go down the same path that I went down, well, I'm a man of means, Riley. And there are many in Eklund who are willing to do a great many things, even harm a child, for the correct reward. I give you your year. He turns his chair around. He is openly crying at this point, and he says, I hope you do not waste it. And he rolls off with Virgil.
Hold on, bring his ass back. I was gonna say something. Bring his ass back.
Oh, dude, you just like this was like the butterfly thing, like the little fucking games where the butterfly happens, and it's like this is a core memory that's affected this character. Fuck, bro. God damn it.
I was going to ask, on a lighter mood, Sir Redburn, Ray took quite a bit of the physical toll. Does she also get a reward?
Robert, I'll say at this point, he has had that conversation for a while. He has turned around in his wheelchair. He waves his hand and he says, Virgil, give the woman whatever she wishes. I wish to be alone.
Dude. Oh, Riley's
Anything
broken.
we want, let's go!
Oh, Riley's fucking Christ. I hate you, Hudson. I hate you in the best way.
Virgil, with this potentially very dangerous command, he steps over and at attention toward Rose, waiting.
Oh, that's so funny.
Ooh, 12:05. We can end it there, huh? So I can
let's end. That'll be tonight's session.
Smart move by Rose. Smart move by Rose.
She gets to think. She gets to think it over.